the same at all.
Yeah,
Like
that's tough to
I'm
jump
trying to
between.
parry things in DMC5 and I don't have the button. I'm like, fuck, this is not what you have to do. And in Stoba, you have to parry every enemy you come
You don't have
across.
to. I only use it maybe 20% of the time.
Really, I'm
Yeah.
trying to get good with it because I know
Again,
certain bosses gonna
I got all these advanced moves and stuff. Like, I mean,
so
I
you don't
can
have to.
parry if I just do it because I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just parry this enemy and do like the final. Anyway,
It's
we're
just
talking
you
about
like,
Stellar Blade. We're live. What's up? Get the chat
what's
up.
up, hi ladies and gentlemen.
Um, I was just telling them,
It's the Reverse Oreo podcast.
there's like a lot of there's not too often where I'll say, kind of push through the story stuff, like, and then you know, and then like go in for like more into the game. But games like that where you get like, just you do have to play the game in order to unlock stuff because it takes skill points or whatever the current. I don't remember the exact unlock. There's like some items you pick up that like resources just randomly that will you'll be able to upgrade one of your perks, and then
yeah,
you can upgrade so you can have 3 equipped at once, and then stuff like that, and then you can expand your move set in like a skill tree. And I forget the exact, each one kind of has a different item or currency, quote unquote, that you can use. Oh, I'm low
yeah.
again. What the fuck, man?
Well,
What
really, let me
happened?
hear.
I got it turned up.
Oh, is the thing your audio's low?
I don't know if I just need to get a new microphone. I mean,
Why
this is a
did I get
newer
a
microphone.
notification you were live like I usually do? What the hell? Oh, okay. That was yeah. You
All
are
right, I
low.
moved the mic up and I increased it in OBS almost max. So, how's that?
I
How's
guess.
that? Testing. 1 2.
To me, I feel like
I
that
gotta
was
turn you
fine,
guys
but I guess
down. Maybe I'll turn you guys down.
episode 500.
Yeah, well, it'd been cool. Like if
I feel like we
everyone
should
could have been
plan
here, but
something.
at least it needed to be the four originals. Me, you, T, or
Yeah,
us
well,
and T.
Well, listen.
Technically, we're not even the original, but yes,
T is recovering. Yeah, we aren't. In retrospect, you should have had Darius
But-
Fox on.
But I will have a game prepared at some point in the future.
This is like the Marvel's Avengers thing. Rob will be back to return in a future episode of Just as Loose with a
Well, yeah,
game.
one, we gotta have everybody on because it only makes sense. Because
Well,
I
yeah,
want
of
to do
course.
I said it like I want to do a question.
Get Rule
About
2
the-
on. We'll get
If-
some
I
more
mean, like, if we
regulars.
could get everybody, that would be
Have
insane.
you talked to Rob?
Just on Twitter, we have interactions, so it's not
Yeah, we
like
do,
it's
yeah.
not
Okay,
like
all right, cool.
But like,
I feel
I
like
mean,
saying Rob. I had to clarify.
yeah, well, because it used to be, it'd be, actually, what was it? It would be, yeah, Robert would be me, and then Rob would be him.
Yeah, that's what we used to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But I mean, yeah, I mean, I want to do a 50 question quiz about the history of the podcast and stuff like that.
oh, absolutely not. I will get demolished.
We're going to do it. I already have like 18 questions. We're going to do it.
This is over a decade old podcast. I'm not about
Exactly.
Dude, I don't
That's
even
what
remember what last week I was gonna be like. God, did I ask these guys like if they were
That's gonna
happy
be so funny.
with the Switch
That's
2
gonna
or not?
I'm gonna get my.
Oh,
ass
shouldn't have
embarrassed.
lowered their guys. They were fine. Well, I mean, the only way to make me sound louder, besides maxing out what's already maxed out, is to make you guys quieter, so we're the same
So
level.
So you're maxed out on like OBS.
I
Like,
bumped it up till it's at even or all the way to the right as far as you can make the slider go.
But the audience agrees. They want to see a 50 question quiz. No one said, but they want to, right, guys?
I don't know
50,
why. Well, you wouldn't.
50 question, man.
That's for 500. For 500 episodes, 50 questions. I mean,
Don't do that.
it would have been nice to have it,
We're
ready.
not doing
for
anything else
500.
that podcast.
But-
Yeah,
What
it kind
we're
of
gonna-
needed it done for this, but
Well, I mean, it's only us. It's just you two. I would be
yeah,
the host. And it's
yeah,
just
it
you
would
two,
be
so I
kind of
couldn't
a
do it anyway.
waste.
I couldn't do that anyway. So
I mean,
we gotta-
I would just work on the questions and then give.
And I mean, again,
let us
I'm
know like
literally-
in advance.
in order to make these questions, I have to listen to all these podcasts over again. So I'm on the 108th or whatever. So it's gonna be a while. But
Well, we'll
sometime
say-
this year, we're going to have a 50 question.
It'll probably be late. It'll probably be late this year. So don't. Everyone, don't trip about it. We got a while.
I think. Well,
You're on 180 and you have 500, and we make one every week. That's the other thing. It's not like the episode stops.
And they get longer, man. They used to be like 40 minutes.
Really?
Now they're at 2 hours and a half.
Yeah, there was no way it was going to be. And there's a couple, I think, that are, and I think we have a chunk that are like 3 hours at some points.
Yeah, there's a chunk. But it's so funny. Listen, I've been sending you guys clips, like some of like the older ones, and they're so funny. Some of these things that are just so hilarious. I forget about, and you just
Your
listen to
creepy
these
laugh.
just,
Was it your laugh?
yes. I don't even know what it was like. When I, especially at 16, I was really like goofy and
Were you
talking
still
about
16? Oh, Lord.
But it was like, I forget what it was, but it was like Terrell goes like a laugh like and then I go like or something, like it was my actual laugh, and then he's like, that was a devious ass laugh.
I think it threw me off because he was like right behind me. Like
I remember the small hands one. I remember the hands.
The big hands, small hands. Yep.
Oh my God.
And,
Do we remember the? I wonder if it happened during the podcast when we were talking about standing up or sitting down when you got a wipe after you drop a deuce. Was that on the podcast?
I don't know. I think that was several years afterwards. So
that's gonna be like probably.
Yeah, but I'll say that's probably in the.
Clocked it was on by
21
at that
maybe
point,
even.
I
right now I'm the month before the Switch was announced, so we're still calling NX rumors and NX stuff. So it's pretty interesting to hear that.
I still remember the
20. So it has to be 2016 then, right?
2016, yeah.
When I asked after, I think it was during or after the January event, I had a couple people on, or maybe it was after the Switch reveal, and it was like people I hadn't had on before, at least one person in particular. And it was like no chemistry. It was super awkward. It was like no excitement, and because it was, and the dude, I know he went on to do like started talking like super religious stuff. I forget his name.
Nintendo Ultra.
Nintendo Ultra.
Was that? Oh yeah, it was Nintendo Ultra. Nintendo Ultra is a very
I haven't followed him.
I don't know.
He still streams on Twitch occasionally. I follow him, so I casually see his
Well, because he was big with the Switch skits, like the he was doing
he
PS4 Switch haters, and then all of a sudden like it just something happened and just crazy religious. Everything slowed down.
Some people had a life,
but having it was just like the most awkward. That's when I was like, I'm gonna stop asking other like people on. I'd already at that point I'd already done it for years, but that one was like
social. We're done with it.
Well, right now I'm still Rob is still on.
Has Red Knight been on quite a bit or no?
Red Knight, yeah. We had Active Gamer Life on a decent amount of times.
Yeah, Rule of Two left.
I just saw him
not long after Sonic Forces, I believe.
That was 2017.
Was that 2018?
Yeah, I guess it was probably late 2017 when he.
Yeah, it was after RGT made his review and justified it because it's middleware and it's okay for games to be middleware, even though it's Sonic, a mainline Sonic. It's okay for games to be middleware, and it was it a $40 game or?
It was a $40.
Wait, what game was it?
Frontiers.
Sonic Forces, right?
Forces.
Sonic Forces.
No, it was Forces. Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I called BS. I'm like,
it was not worth $40.
I'm like, if you're a Sonic fan,
it wasn't even worth 20. My God.
If you're a Sonic fan, it's not okay for Sonic to be a middleware game, be a $40 middleware, and say it's okay for games to be middle. Not every game has to be AAA big budget. That's fine. I'm fine with that argument. But Sonic, a mainline Sonic, it was just like. It was bullshit.
I think
called
the only
them out.
reason
unfortunately, Sonic's reputation was very. Oh, it's fine because it's always been mediocre.
But there was a little bit of a falling out moment because Rob was getting in tight with those guys a little bit. He was doing podcasts and stuff with them, and he was standing up for his boy. And I was like, "That's bullshit." And he's a like. Rob, I remember being a Sonic fan. Like, I feel like he was a.
It was me, Terrell, and Rob that were defending Lost World a lot.
Yeah.
Hey, Lost World is fine. I still say it's second best Sonic game, but
I'm fine with that.
It had its issues. Yeah, the Wii U.
You're kinder to it now than you were back then, though.
You are.
Well, it's just annoying. Some of the little things that just could have been polished up would have made that game so much better. Like. I wasn't used to Sonic jank or whatever Sega or Sonic Team jank because it's like you just all of a sudden you fall off the stage and I'm
dead. Remember Juice back then, and he still does it now. will shit talk Sonic to get a rise out of me half the time because he used to do it a lot. You don't do it as much as you used to, but you used to do it a lot and be like, bruh, don't mess me out.
I
like
think
this.
you know you've come around to a few some of the couple games recently, not recently, but you know since then, like with Forces, and then you didn't even buy the frickin' the 2D one.
Forces, I think.
Okay.
Mania? No, because I was saying
not
the
Mania.
Forces. The only reason they put it at $40 is
Superstars.
because they knew it was bad.
Mm.
It's the same length as Generations and all that type of stuff. It's like it's not like they're like Generations has so much more content than Forces. It's just literally they knew it was bad. They knew the shit was gonna be horrible. They're like, well, it's $40, so you know.
Wasn't that one of the early revealed games too for the NX?
It was 27. It came out 2017.
Yeah.
It was like the first year.
But they had NX on the logo.
Yeah,
like,
they had NX.
It's funny. It's funny you bring this up. I was scrolling through my old videos, and apparently I made a video back in October 2017 complaining about all of these fans who automatically switched up on Nintendo once they realized the Switch was successful. And I don't remember I ever put it out. I need to go look to see if I did. But it's literally just this long form rant about these armchair analysts who were like, I think Nintendo's gonna go third party after this console. And then and I'm just like, look at how the times have changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers have made whole careers out of Nintendo.
Switch, yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I could like what Rob will have to tell me when you're getting close. Like what were my initial thoughts of like what the Switch would end up being, because
yeah, I mean it's only a few more podcasts.
I can't say I was like, yeah, it's gonna outsell the Switch or the Wii like T did early on. But I feel I thought it was a success.
I said from the beginning, and we have proof where I said, hey man, and I remember I know I said from the beginning, man, that shit was going to outsell the Wii and stuff, because I was saying you combine the Wii and the DS and you make like 200 million things. It's gonna be insane. Yeah, and then you guys, well, you know, it's not gonna be as much because you know they have multiple owners. You know, multiple people have the DSs and Wii's. And like I get that, but I'm like, I'm telling you. It only made sense to me. Like you combine the two of them, it's not even gonna be a competition.
I feel like I never doubted it being successful. I don't know to what extent I probably felt back then, but anyway.
I've always just combined the two numbers in my mind. That's what I kept doing. I'm like, you combine this.
I remember that. Let's check the chat. We got Lenny in here. Retro T popped by earlier. Visor. Old folks with old minds. I was trying to remember if the news of Sony dropping 12 live service games was before or after the podcast. I think it was after.
No, it's after. Because I heard about it like over the weekend.
After the last podcast?
Yeah, the last one. It was this week. Well, last week.
Yeah, that was like
Air
that was
says
really like
the Red Knight Fallout on here was more awkward. Maybe I don't.
Oh, that's right, because that's when y'all got into it.
I don't think it was because somebody asked me like straight up like whatever happened to Red Knight.
I don't even remember as to what happened.
It was all behind the scenes. I've talked about it since, but
well, here's the thing: y'all had like more heated arguments on like stream about gaming. Like that's where y'all, especially that Game Pass argument.
Red Knight and I are aligned on a lot of things except Game Pass.
Like, well, Game Pass.
He got so mad that I said it's like Netflix.
So what we're saying is Xbox is the reason why y'all broke up.
It was a big part. He said I only played Hellblade because it had a female in it as the lead character, and then years later he's praising Hellblade because it's on Game Pass. I caught one of his videos and I finally played Hellblade. That's a really good game, and you know when the sequel was announced. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here, dude! I told you it was a pretty good game. I was surprised I liked it, but you know.
I will say that I actually, you know, he still uploads on its
he does.
Channel, and I actually listened to his most recent. I listened to his most recent thing on the Switch 2 in Mario Kart. The dude has great discussion.
He's always had good like thoughts about upcoming things. He could foresee like really good ideas that Nintendo could do, and I always struggled to try to put myself in Nintendo's place and come up with stuff like that. And it's just, I mean, it sucks. But like T said, we were like him, Red and I are very similar, like personality wise, and just sometimes that clashes. That's what he said. I never thought about it like that, but
I could see that. I'm not gonna disagree. I could see that.
Also, what's up? We got Pearly 21. We got Airs.
He made some of the funniest analogies though, man. He was talking about. This is an earlier podcast. I wasn't even on yet. And he was like, about having, I guess, owning both consoles or something. But he alluded it to. He's like, imagine if you could have sex with anybody, right, in the whole world, and you pick the same woman, and like it was like, for instance, it was with with Nia was on, and he says,
Wow,
if you have sex with
crazy.
anybody and you pick Will Smith, that would make no sense. It's the same person as it was so crazy because of Shokyo stuff. So it was the funniest thing.
That is a wild.
Was he talking about both having a PlayStation and an Xbox or something?
Yeah, I think something like that. Where it's
Yeah.
like, how do you have the same thing twice?
Yeah, that's
At
funny.
least it's something different. If you have sex with anybody in the world, anybody. It was funny as hell.
Yeah, I honestly,
so
I regret how things went down just because he was like always my favorite person to have on the podcast. Like for a non-regular, I mean, like just like any guest.
Hey man, you could always make amends.
Remember he was in the chat a couple years back and he said that I had blocked him. I never blocked him, so I don't know. He said I was blocked him in the chat, and I was like, I wouldn't even know how to do that. I don't know how to do it or undo it. So
Well, we got, hey, maybe make amends. I mean, at the end of the day, like if you listen to his most recent thing, it's the same. You know, it's some good shit, man. Some good shit.
I struggle with some of the pro Xbox direction he took.
For sure.
It was like all of it, dog. He went. He was
from
doing
like
he went from like
the Bing
Nintendo
points
to
thing,
like Xbox,
doing the little daily objectives to get like Bing points to like pay for his Game Pass subscription. I'm like, I'm not doing this bullshit. Like log into this one every day, do this every day. I'm like, I'm not doing that bullshit for this company. Like,
yeah, I did it for a few days because I wanted to see, and I'm like, I mean, I can see someone doing it, but I fall off after 2 days. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I don't want to do all that personally.
Yeah, that's
it's just like I get it because some people, then you could get free Game Pass.
Yeah, you got
months or whatever, but like.
It gave you legit funds you could turn into like gift cards for Xbox. But what's up to the Artisan? What's up to TriLink? Happy 500th podcast. Thanks. Where's the rest of the crew? We're not here.
When Swag Bucks was a thing, it's like that.
Yeah, I mean, my buddy used to do it. He used to do all that stuff, and it paid for his. He would buy these. It would buy the season of every year. He bought like the Walking Dead season on Amazon, and he used his Bing points because he's the most. He's not as much now. I've never known like a Microsoft fanboy. I know Xbox fanboy. I've never known a Microsoft fanboy. A Windows phone. Bing only uses Bing. He gets a Android and he's got to put some kind of Windows bullshit spin on it. He just can't use just an Android phone. And he's not as bad as he was, but he was like just the most like the biggest fanboy of anything I think I've ever known was him in Microsoft. I still work with him, but he's not as bad as he was. I was like, dude, Bing sucks. I'm sorry, Google's so much better. Like Bing, maybe it's better now, but Bing always sucked. The results always sucked.
Whoever thought that it was good? I'm trying to think.
Still to this day, I mean, at work, everything's on Bing. At home, he uses Bing.
That sounds like he's lazy. Is what it sounds like.
No, he just loves. He loves like he
loves Microsoft, man.
He is so. He's less than he was, though, I will say. But he was pushing Windows phones on people. He talked people at work into getting Windows phones. Didn't tell them that there was no app support.
Anything else?
There was like literally no app support on Windows phones. Like even like Instagram or something, like Snapchat, that stuff, that weren't even available on the Windows phone. And he's talking these people into getting a phone. He gets them set up, and they were so mad. This one girl, she was so mad she couldn't have like she didn't have Snapchat or Instagram, whatever ones it didn't support. And I was like, yeah, here's what my phone does. I got all that stuff. And she like he went and helped her switch.
Retro remembers his very first podcast, 126. So I'm getting close to yours. Well, I mean that's still like 20 hours or so. No, maybe more. But that's like 40 hours.
I think you got a while, buddy.
Yeah, it's still a while technically.
Question: do you listen to like one a day, or how many often? Like how often?
It depends. Sometimes it's a few days. Sometimes it's none. You know what I mean? It depends.
Lenny says Lenny's been listening since the Wii U days. He doesn't remember a specific time.
The Wii U days would have. Well, that's a hell of a.
Those are the best days, I thought. I mean, Robert said we
Those-
were playing freaking games till like 4 in the morning, Splatoon and Smash.
Yeah, we were talking about. Well, that's why we were talking about like, oh yeah, we played. It was like Smash or Splatoon till like 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning, and then I ended up continuing to play with Red Knight Splatoon till 4:30 in the morning. So I'm like, what was this? I'm like, what the fuck was this? I'm like, and it's like, yeah, it's a 6.5 hour gaming session. I'm like, damn.
Again, that's why the Wii
Yeah, I
U is my
forgot.
favorite Nintendo console. Not
When I
only the
booted up,
games, it's just the best.
When I
period.
booted up ARMS, I have like at least 3. I have at least like no, I'm lying. I have at least like 10 replays of our party crashes. Like it's like me and Juice.
Well,
me
yeah,
and
I mean
Robert.
that
We
early
started
Switch
out
days,
pretty
we also
good.
did play. That early Switch days, we did.
When's
did
the last
play,
time we all like
ARMS.
played Smash together? Right
Uh,
after Pyra came out, for sure.
I don't even think we did
So, if
Sora.
Pyra
Did we
came
do
out-
Sora and stuff?
No, we didn't.
No, right?
I think
Well,
I've
no
seen
one-
Sora once or twice. I played after Sora, so it was a couple people.
So what was that? 2020. So it's been like what? Maybe a couple years, 1 or 2 years.
That's a
Look
long time.
when did the last Smash character come out?
Sora, I thought was like
was
in
like
2022. Yeah, it was in 2022. So it had to be like. It's
So we
only been
played a
maybe,
couple. Like
maybe-
we played once or twice.
But it was literally like once or twice.
Yeah, it
max.
wasn't a lot. Yeah.
We used to play like literally every weekend, almost every other weekend.
I get it. People
be-
got
yeah,
wives and
sessions.
children and stuff to do, you know. But
Yeah.
it was just that's why it was such a good time for me. Like
For sure.
Well,
Well, I mean, you know, Retro's coming to the U.S., which means very likely, you know, Saturday maybe could be more.
he'll be on the
available,
same
maybe
time
we can
zone.
that
yeah,
doesn't help
maybe.
clocked it out, man. That doesn't help clocked.
No,
it.
he's actually kind of available on those days. So
Oh, is he?
yeah, I think we can maybe get
Well, I
some.
know you.
going.
I think you, Retro, and Clocked it were doing like some stuff on Discord.
A little bit, but then I switched jobs and I wasn't able to quite do that. It was
Still-
like Tuesday at like 1.
Yeah, you
Or
guys were
not,
playing
like,
like well,
weekend
it
or
kind
that
of bummed me out because by the time I actually was available to do something, I think it's when your job switched, and I was like, "Damn, okay."
You would
It's
be
like-
available at like a 4 p.m. sort of time frame.
I get off at 4, so I would get
Oh,
home.
okay, so
well,
around-
I mean, I get home around like 4:20. It wouldn't be like I probably.
Well,
would miss
it
maybe
was
the
like
first
yeah, I mean
hour.
yeah, because we ended up. I mean me clocked in Retro. I mean a few times it was just me and Retro, and we played like Splitgate. I really enjoyed the hell out of the game. We haven't played it in a while.
well, the other
That's like a
issue
Halo
is
meets
the
Portal.
lag.
Um,
The lag with Clocked It joins a lot of times would be
it
pretty
depends though, because like when I
The
played
British
when we played
lag.
when we played Triforce Heroes, we didn't have lag other than a few times.
But-
And then other than that, we played Minecraft and we played a decent amount of Minecraft. But I think you know this is the year where we could start doing some more
bad.
games.
Switch
like-
2, baby.
Switch 2.
The online's
I
gonna
mean,
be
what-
identical though.
26
So.
players.
It depends on when
26 players.
it
Or
depends on
24
when
is-
it comes out. If it comes out like early, like if it comes out like in the summer, then yeah, that's it. We got it. We're good.
24 players
Because
online.
on the
you know,
holiday, that's gonna kind of suck. That's all I'm
Not
gonna
interested in 24-player Mario Kart. I don't think we even got to that point in the last week. I think we talked about it a little bit, but
say. All I've been hearing about is that whole Sony live service thing the last couple of days.
everyone's like, I've seen, maybe T said this, like, oh, they're
What?
mismanaging their studios. That's not a mismanaging their studios. That's mismanaging their
The
direction
funds.
of the company with that games as a service plan. What was that, like 4 years ago? They said they wanted to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Well, I guess to be fair, that means they are mismanaging the studio's direction. To be fair. You
Yeah,
know what I
because
mean?
remember,
Yeah, but
that means the game. That
that's
means
just
they're
their-
working on
they
all that
had
stuff.
That means they forced these studios to make games as a service because they, for some reason,
Yeah.
whoever
Which would be
whoever
mismanaging
made-
it.
that I
I
don't
guess.
think that's a studio that's a head up direct management of the direction of the company. Like,
Yeah.
and it's a waste of time for their studios. It's not mismanaging the studios. It's
You know, that-
mismanaging the direction of the company.
Well, that's
it's
even worse
wasting-
than in that
then-
case.
Then it's wasting the studio's time by having to make these games that they wanted to make, and then when they're like, yeah, we've had a couple failures, we're changing, then it's like, well, all their work just got scrapped.
Well, I think what was it? It was 12. It was 12 live service, and out of the 12, they kept like 4 of them. So that was like 8 of them that got canceled, and people were like, are these studios working on anything else? And the reality
that's-
is probably they're not. So which means you got a bunch of studios.
Well, Naughty Dog was, obviously.
Well, yeah, Night Owl was, but that
it's
I'm not- it's
wasting
not-
the studio's time. I don't know how it's
And money.
mismanaging the studio. Like,
Maybe
Well,
that
if you're-
reveal that new IP would have looked better. If they-
You're mismanaging the whole entire studio. You know what I mean? Because
mean,
you
that's-
directed them in the wrong
But my
direction.
point is that Sony's
And
bad with their
mismanaging
business. Is the
it's
short answer.
somebody at top said we want games as a service, and you're going to do it. Yeah, it came from the top,
The
and then they
synonym
were.
of that is mismanage, yo.
Yeah, it's
You're
mismanagement,
not gonna
and
let this
definitely
go, are you? You're not gonna let
it's
this go, are you?
mismanagement for sure.
Can we just say that they're bad? They're just handling their studios
was a-
poorly. Can we?
You're just saying the definition.
I don't
of
think
it.
it's anything to do with the studios. It's the direction they wanted
No,
the
not
company
that.
to
I
go.
get that, but the higher ups, the head higher ups,
They're the ones making the decisions.
managing those decisions of the studios, which is that.
They're like, hey, you're gonna
It's
make
that-
the games as a service games, and they probably just divided up
Almost
who's gonna make what or whatever. And then it's I mean I don't have, maybe someday you'll get to a podcast where I said this. When they first announced that strategy to go to games as a service, I was like so disappointed, and I thought it was a stupid idea, and that's not what their consumers, or that's not what their fan base is. That's not that's not what they built up. Yeah, you
then
could
they looked
add
at
some. It
Helldivers
wouldn't
and
hurt
like-
to add a couple of those maybe, and hope to get
But you only had
lucky.
12.
But you
12
don't
is
make it your
absurd.
focus and
That's
make
nuts.
it this huge focus of the
I
company.
would have did like 3 or 4 to just test the waters.
I'd-
And then
They
been
had
fine.
every single one of their damn bigger studios be like, all right, make the franchise that you do, make a live version.
Yeah,
Like, what?
it's-
What are you doing?
Just
And
do-
trust me, I work.
God of War live service? How do you even? What is that? Why would you? God of War
you,
live service?
you
How would
kill demons and angels, but you're to pay a fee after a certain amount of kills.
And it sucks as a company with a, with a big company over your head, and they tell you what to do, even though when you know it's the wrong thing. I've
Yeah.
had that's happened so many damn times where I work, and it's
Oh, I definitely
frustrating
relate.
because it's like we always joke, we're like, yep, the people with only the high school diplomas out here knowing that these are bad decisions, and these college grad master degree people at top make these decisions, and then we just look at each other, this ain't gonna work. Like this one guy, he was like, I mean, alcoholic, pain in the ass to work with, just one of those thorn in everybody's side, always getting under people's skin type of guys. And he called something so spot on. We were doing this big thing. They're moving all our inventory to a different warehouse out of state, and we're loading up all this stuff on semi trailers. He goes, "This stuff's all coming back. I guarantee it. This isn't going to work. That they don't know what they're doing there at that other facility. All the stuff's coming back." He wasn't there when it came back. He got fired because we downsized. It all came back, and it's just like, so anyway, I always think of that. I always kind of, anytime corporations make dumb decisions, I can't say I'm like, oh damn, that sucks. Those games got canceled. I'm glad they got canceled. It just sucks that so much time was wasted on them.
I think there's a few there that probably could have been decent, like a Spider-Man. They had the Spider-Man multiplayer. The idea of that could be cool.
Yeah.
I think
but,
Factions probably
I
had
think
the
that-
best chance of
I think
being
Factions would have
successful.
had. Yeah, I think Factions had a really good chance of being pretty good.
And if you could
Oh,
find
look
out what
at all
podcast
this.
that was, I said I stood by Naughty Dog for standing up to Sony and saying, no, we're not gonna turn our studio into a games as a service studio. It's like, to keep a game, you don't have to have your full team, but to constantly have, there's T, I got him
I
on.
thought you were sick, man.
To constantly
He has to
There's
come on.
nothing wrong with resting, dog.
to constantly have Naughty Dog have to worry about updates, seasons. Yeah, it wouldn't have been their full staff, but I felt from that announcement.
Well,
like,
I mean,
they
these live service games take a huge portion of the staff.
that's
know?
why I
Yeah.
said I think Naughty
That's
Dog
what I
put
say,
their
it
foot
probably
down
hurt
and said
game
we're not going to
development.
do it, and Sony had no choice.
I hope it was their choice. I mean,
that was my feelings based on
Damn.
I don't know if it was really their choice. It could have
the
Yeah,
way
I was
they
gonna say,
worded
yeah.
it. It lead me to believe that they were like, Naughty Dog was like, yeah, we're not doing this.
Some PR person wrote that up. It wasn't just.
No, that wasn't. I mean, it was done in a way that wasn't like calling
You don't
somebody
think
out,
it got
but it's
approved
like,
14 times until it got put onto Twitter? These huge companies, they be all right. Someone writes it. All right, now the person.
It might, yeah.
Still say stupid
You mean?
shit.
Either way.
regardless, though.
That was my feeling on it when it first got announced. I wasn't mad
No, like,
about
I
it.
mean,
I wasn't like
yeah,
angry.
for
I
sure.
was like, I'm glad that they took this direction because I'm not a big multiplayer guy anyway, so it's like I definitely didn't want them to go
Yeah,
that direction. So,
for sure.
and I don't even remember what was it last year, or I keep saying last year, 2023. What's up, T?
This man is sick. You go
Yeah,
rest.
bro.
What's wrong, bro?
That man forced me out of retirement with this nonsense double speak, protect Sony, double talk
That's not
bullshit he's doing
protecting
over
Sony.
here.
I just think it's a
Yeah,
management
it's-
issue
oh,
of
Lord.
the higher
Yeah,
level.
Sony's mismanaging their studio by saying, "Hey guys, do something that you've never done before and make it good." That's mismanaging of the studio. That's mismanagement of the studio. That's exactly what that is.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's
All right,
just
now
a
I'm gonna
synonym
go.
of
Bye.
mismanaging.
I hate this. I hate that this is what.
I'll
makes
take it.
This
I'll
man,
take it.
what
I'll
do you mean
accept
you'll
it.
take it?
I'll accept
Oh,
it.
oh, when
What
Robert
it is.
argues it, it's a problem. When T says
But
it,
I'm just saying, like,
I'll take
Let's
it.
put it this way. Let's put it this way. When people say Microsoft is mismanaging studios, what are they saying?
That they ain't releasing games and stuff.
Mismanaging
Right?
studios, specifically
That's
Microsoft.
what the narrative has been for quite some time. What are they talking about?
They're talking about
I
where
think.
the games at.
Well, I think it's giving them kind of free reign to like take however long they want to take on a game, and then I think that's the complaint I remember hearing
That's
the
what it
most.
is.
I
It's like
don't think that.
it's like, guys,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, where the games at?
you can't just
Yeah, I
like
think the big
let
thing
them
is
take
where the
6,
game's
7
at.
years.
Where
and
the
then,
games at?
Yeah.
Where the games at when the games come out they aren't good. Like they try to and they blame Microsoft for it. Fine. I mean, that's fine. But the game came out bad. So
I would say a
they're
bad
saying
like
Microsoft,
releasing
it's your
bad
fault
games.
that these games aren't coming out or they're coming out bad. That's
Yeah.
Microsoft mismanaging the studio. That's exactly. So they canceled all these fucking games that these guys have been working on for years, and now they have nothing. And so
Which,
you
mind you, they
manage
didn't
studio.
know
The
that.
studio could have been working on something.
Yeah, I mean,
that
I
coulda
said
came
it's
out, that
they
coulda been
wasted their
good.
time, and it was a dumb like whoever made that decision for the games as a service was just like that was
They were just mismanaging the studio, exactly.
Yeah,
He wants
Not-
to say it a different way. That's
it's
the reason. I don't know.
I don't know, just
It's not. It's the same word.
When you-
It's the
I
same
would
word.
say
When you-
like
when you scroll down
mismanagement.
these-
I
Go
agree
ahead.
with like if a studio's releases a bad game and you're like, well, why weren't you guys like on top of this? Like the Concord situation, it's like that. Why weren't you guys aware of the issues with this game? And then you know,
Spent $400 million apparently.
it's like
That's complete mismanaging of your
that's
funds.
completely
Not
mismanaging
only
the
the
game
studio-
for sure. But either way, like I'm not sad about the games getting canceled
Just blow
because
past that.
I don't care about those types of games. But it sucks that, like I said, like
I
now.
think I'd be sad because I
Okay,
feel
that's
some of those
fine for
ponies-
you. But I would like to say for the ponies, because there are a lot of them who say, "Oh, good." Is it really good that
It's
It
not.
You know,
sucks
there's
for
a lot
some.
of
It
money-
sucks. A lot of money got
and
wasted,
time
and
was
it's
you
gonna.
see, guys, you're wasting the studios that you guys have been waiting for stuff to come out for. You know, I mean, Factions, from what I hear, the first one was great. Everybody loved Factions.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you completely mismanaged that situation where you couldn't put out a sequel to a game everybody already loved. That is complete mismanagement. Well, what happened there?
could have at least
So,
just made
what
a
was the
mode.
reason-
You
was the
didn't have to
reason
make
li-
no live service because the other was
And
just
they were
slow.
saying up until 21, 22, games coming along fine, coming along great. Don't worry.
And
I
then,
mean, I got no
by the
way to
way,
prove it, but like I said before, as you were jumping on, I just feel like Naughty Dog said no, we don't want to become a live service studio. That's
mean,
my.
You
gut
don't do
feeling.
that. You don't do that with millions of dollars of your company's money, though. You don't do that. You
And my
say,
question is,
up
how late-
front, we can't do this. And if they force you to do it,
Maybe
Well,
they gave.
how-
I don't know.
How late in the game was it? Was that said? Is
Because
my
if you-
question.
if you take the job, then it's on you. You can't blame Sony at that point. You
Yeah,
can-
it's like starting a contract
you
and then
don't, you
not
don't do a
finishing it.
protest. Right, you don't do a protest. Oh, we're not going to finish the game. Like you don't do that. You lose jobs over that kind of
That's
thing.
why I want to
You-
know, like how
That's
deep
not
in
what happened.
factions? How deep in factions were they before that decision was made?
They were
'Cause-
pretty deep, apparently.
supposedly deep. I mean,
And it sounded like
supposedly.
the scope of it was getting large, or they said the scope had expanded at some point. I don't know what phase.
I would have just.
The
I
scope
would've
was too much for.
And it's
The
like
scope was too much for one of Sony's biggest studios.
And it's
I
like
don't
one of
buy it.
these
I
like
don't buy it.
people are like, well, just put out a smaller tier like thing that's
I
similar
would
to
have
the
just
original.
transferred.
And I think
I would have.
that would have been fine. Just hey, this is the multiplayer. Let's not try to make it the next Fortnite type of thing. Just put out something that doesn't try to be that. And I think, and just make it a fun multiplayer game. I think, I don't know, probably would have did all right.
I would have.
Yeah, I
I
was
would.
excited
Personally,
from
they should have
nobody
had
else.
it. They should have had it.
Maybe
What they should have
Nintendo.
done is they should have supported it for a year, and throughout that first year, transition another company to take it over. That way, they wouldn't have had to like maintain it themselves. They would have had a new company maintaining it. But they should have at least released it because how much money was lost during that whole thing?
Well,
Like,
they
how
might
much
have.
money?
They might have. I mean, yeah, I
We'll
think
never
it would
know.
have done. Obviously, Concord was
think
just
it
this out of nowhere IP, and they threw it out
And they
there.
spent 400.
Yeah, and it's
But
like,
to spend as much as they did and then it not come out, it's like, bro.
That's
Like-
crazy to me. You spent that much money and you pull the game after 2 weeks or 3, whatever it's been.
What was
Like,
the
that's-
Microsoft? Was it Redfall
Hey,
that was in that?
Like it
same
wasn't a
position?
bad game, right? It wasn't a bad game. It just nobody cared.
Yeah.
So that's strange. That's strange, bro.
They lost too much money.
I don't know that the game necessarily was bad. It was like, but what were the
It wasn't
estimated
good.
sales?
It
Were
just
like
wasn't good.
estimated sales were like
Yeah,
what
yeah.
It
60,000.
didn't make.
I'm-
put it
no, I'm
this way,
talking about-
It wasn't making money.
I'm talking mechanical.
Yeah.
Mechanically, it wasn't bad. It wasn't like breaking and you know,
Yeah.
people
Yeah, it
losing
wasn't
their
like a
stat-
glitch
It wasn't
fest.
doing any
It
of
wasn't
that shit.
trash. It just
Right.
was so forgettable to people, or just people just didn't care to the level that no one bought it. Like, I mean, what 60,000? I
Even
think
when it
is
was
what
a
I heard.
free beta.
It was like the free beta was only
And
1,200 people.
Nobody looked at that game. That game fell so hard. Nobody looked at that and said, "Oh no, bro." They put 400 mil behind it. Like that's
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's crazy.
It
That's-
is nuts.
that's-
But the fact they refunded
Somebody
it
at
and
the
pulled
top
it
should be fired. Somebody's
Yeah.
at the top should be fired.
for
over
sure.
that.
No.
I'm surprised someone. I'd be
Surprised
surprised if
hasn't,
someone
yeah.
wasn't.
Surprised we haven't heard
If someone
anything
didn't get fired, I think I'm more surprised.
Yeah.
Whoever approved that.
You
And
would
I
have
didn't
not
hear
just
about
all in
anybody
Ryan.
stepping down or nothing.
Yeah.
I
it's
thought
weird.
they did close that studio they bought though, didn't they?
No.
Yeah, the
Firehawk
studio they
or
bought, did they
whatever,
close?
Firehawk?
Oh, that one. Oh, that one.
I remember something about it, but I don't think. Or maybe they did.
I thought they bought it.
They had already bought
No,
the
they
studio.
bought it, but I think
They
they also
bought it,
like
but I don't know if-
hired people.
I don't think they.
I feel like
I think they laid
the
off
two
people.
head people at that studio, at the very least, I believe, were gone.
Firewalk Studios.
But it's just like,
I just don't understand. It's like only a certain amount of games as a service games work, or if it's successful.
That's why I would only.
It's not
do like
like
a
it's
couple.
automatic.
I would only. Try
and
a
it's
couple.
like
no, they did get defunct.
Right.
the biggest successes are usually the ones that were like small scale stuff, like trying to.
They did shut it down.
You
I
can't.
forgot about that.
It doesn't. It
Jesus.
feels like you
like
can't
Horizon
buy it.
MMO. That makes sense. Or factions
Right.
makes sense. Cancel every fucking thing, but leave those two.
I wonder if the
Like,
Well, we have what I think
I
it was
think
like four.
Spider-Man would
I
make
think-
sense. To be honest with you, Spider-Man is a
Spider-Man.
very.
I'll
Hey,
get
listen,
Spider-Man.
It just
Like,
depends
I'd
on
say-
what-
I'm gonna be real with you. They need to give Insomniac a break because them motherfuckers been doing a lot of work lately, and I feel
Well-
like I'm concerned that
They're-
they're gonna
I'm sorry,
burn
but
them
there's
out.
no time. They got no time now, especially now.
Yeah, especially now.
Yeah,
I hate
honestly,
it.
I truthfully, I
No,
don't
they
think.
canceled. They did cancel the Spider-Man one. The Spider-Man one got canceled.
Yeah, Spider-Man games.
Do
don't
they
have-
have? I wonder if that Spider-Man, what do you call it? That they own
What?
has access to all the Spider-Man characters, or if it's like limited.
I would assume.
Their
Well, I
license.
think Disney's like, hey, you're gonna have to pay more money for certain things.
Yeah, I mean, I
probably.
think it depends on who you're talking about, probably.
But look
Yeah,
at
if you're talking
Marvel
about, like-
Rivals. That game to me, just the little bit of gameplay I saw, like this is the biggest phenomenon like right now in gaming. This,
Again,
People are loving
Yeah,
it.
if you looked at that out of how would you know that game's gonna take off? You wouldn't know that shit. No, I think the people who made the game didn't know that shit was gonna take off like that.
Yeah,
That's why
but-
you can't gamble with free to play games. You just don't know.
you want to
You don't
make
know
sure
what's
it's
gonna
got.
be a big thing.
For them, they got to prove because the Marvel,
Yeah,
franchise.
that helps.
name,
Yeah,
that
that's what I'm
helps.
saying. That they should have kept. If they're gonna keep anything, they should have kept.
The irony is also
Spider-Man.
it very much
Yeah.
it very much is stuck in the Overwatch category in terms of being a hero shooter.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it's a hero shooter with recognizable heroes for the most part, which is
Although
why
I
it's
don't
doing
think they're very recognizable unless they're based off comic books.
so-
There's a lot of people that
No,
are like.
they're all comic book. They're all comic
Isn't there
book
some,
ones.
Okay,
like,
there's a lot of names that are there that I'm like, who is that?
What?
Is that like? I think they have like female
Yeah,
versions.
some of the
of-
top. Some of the top
No, most of them
characters
are
are
all
like
the same.
If I'm
some of the
thinking
top
right-
characters that
They're
people
all
use
the
are
right
lower
gender
tier.
version, but they're all alternate reality characters. Like
Aren't there
But
like
yeah.
like
they're also it's not predatory with its like its online stuff. Like it's
I haven't heard
store
anything
stuff.
like, oh my god, this is so ridiculous. This costs. I haven't
No.
heard anything.
They've
like
been
that.
they've been very fair. You get access to all the characters. The only thing you would have to pay for is skins, and the skins are very unique
what a
and
concept.
differential.
I haven't kept up
What
with
a
it.
concept.
I'll play it.
I have a couple friends who started playing, so I've indulged a little bit. So I
Okay.
They're being
It's-
rewarded for not
I've
being
seen that.
assholes.
I've just seen the
pretty
character
much. Well,
models.
yeah. In this day and age, that's unfortunately like a crazy feat to not be
That's
predatory.
sad that's sad that that's the
But-
bar, but
My thing is, I've seen that everyone has just a nice ass. Everybody.
I mean, they do. They've also
They
been
gotta put
also,
some
like,
cheeks on the
talking
male
about that. That's funny.
characters.
like to give context. They just released the Fantastic Four characters, and everyone just had access to them from the jump. You didn't have to buy them or nothing.
Really?
what they call it
I believe so.
what do
Yeah.
they call it cheesecake and beefcake and cheesecake is what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw,
Beefcake
like,
and
Got a lot
uh,
of beefcake and cheesecake.
Mr. Fantastic, I believe. I saw something.
Yeah, it's Mr. Fantastic, Sue, the Thing. I think Johnny's the only one they didn't. I think. No, I just haven't used.
And it's
Johnny.
just like to get back to the original. You want to make a competent game, but you don't to risk that much money on a live service game. That's like, and it charged
It's
$40 for it too. It was just
Yeah.
It was just such a poor decision all around, and the way they
I'm looking-
revealed it. It's just like
I'm looking through the list of games that they kept and canceled. The only ones I think that are still
They still
up,
got a few, man.
I
What's
think
it called?
Horizons
First
is
Games or
still to
something?
be announced. Horizon one's still there.
Yeah.
They canceled the
I don't
Twisted
get
Metal
that.
one.
To be honest, I just don't.
Nobody
think...
should be charged for those types of games. You want to get the
Well, they're
goal
not
is to
meant
get
to
as
be
many
charged
people in
for,
that bitch as you
realistically.
want.
Yeah.
Right. The goal is to get as many people in there as you can. You put up a barrier
I
for
believe
that type of game.
they just added the requirement for PSN on Forbidden West on PC too. Like after
Yeah.
the fact.
They no.
They haven't learned their lesson.
Why in the why?
And it's like
PC gamers are
afterwards.
not going to move. They're not going to move on this. They're just not.
Stubborn at this
Sorry.
point. It's just stubborn.
Stupid is what it is.
It's stupid.
I don't.
It doesn't even require any kind of
They do so they
online.
can pump up their
It was like,
numbers.
for my,
That's why
it's a single
that's
player
what it's for.
experience. What the fuck?
they want to pump. They want to their numbers. That's what it is.
It gotta stop,
Sandstorm is,
bro.
He's saying Horizon got canceled the other day, but there's actually
That's money,
two-
man.
Did it? Damn.
You can go to investors and say,
Two-
"Hey,
there's
we
two
got such
Horizon
and such
games.
amount of
There's
PSN
two?
members. Give us some more money."
Yeah.
I didn't
There's
know
the
there was
MMO and then there's the multiplayer, whatever that means. It's like two Horizon games. I don't know why. I get the first one sold really well, but I don't think
They said the second one
really
didn't
have
sell, and then the Lego game.
overestimating the love for that.
Who's running
franchise.
Sony right now?
I don't even know.
Oh, the Guerrilla Games guy, Herman Holtz, right?
Herman
he?
Holtz. That's why you got so much
Oh,
Horizon
that's
bullshit.
crazy.
That's right.
Yeah, that's why. That's
Yeah,
literally why.
Crazy.
Time.
What?
That guy is in love with his IP, and he's gonna force that bitch on everybody. You like
I
it or
will
not.
say
Oh,
I don't
no.
think T is gonna agree about. Forbidden West was to me was a significant improvement to the original game, and I'm glad like they made it, but it didn't seem like the sales were anywhere near the first game. So it's like, do you risk making a third game? Like I'm sure they
Well,
are.
the third game came out the same year as what was it, Elden Ring?
It came
And
out,
just
yeah,
burned-
Elden Ring.
and it just burned. Unfortunately, Horizon has a really bad track record of coming out at the same time other popular games are coming out.
Well,
'Cause it
not
was-
only genre defining.
yeah, because remember,
It's
remember,
very simple. Let me
the first
pull my
game
mic
was
closer to
when,
explain this.
yeah, what was it? The first game is when Breath of the Wild came out.
Breath of the Wild and then Elden Ring.
It's like, dog, what?
This is very simple.
What?
Ponies talk a good game. But
Oh, don't do it. Oh, don't do it. T.
They don't
Did you
got
pull out the mic for
games.
this?
I pulled the mic closer to explain
Actually
this.
sounds
They
worse
talk
with
a
it
lot
closer.
of shit.
No,
But
he
their
wants
IPs
you to hear.
compared to like Nintendo,
Talk to him.
they do not buy their goddamn games the way Nintendo
Talk to him,
fans
G.
support.
Talk to him.
They don't buy
games.
Lego.
Preach.
They don't
They
buy
talk a
Lego
lot.
Horizon.
They talk a lot on YouTube, but they ain't buying the damn
I'd be
game.
curious how
I'm
well is
buying
Lego
more than
Horizon
they
sold,
are.
by the way. I wonder which
Apparently not
platform was
very
the
well, man.
no. What was the leading platform for Lego Horizons? That's what I'd be
I think it
interested
was
in.
PS5.
Look,
though.
PS5.
look at every Sony console. do they even crack? Do Sony games even crack the top 10 most of the
They
time?
do a couple. Not
A
as
couple
much
games.
as.
Yeah, right.
All right, look.
That's
The
what- yeah.
rule
You're
is
talking for like
the-
weekly sales or like for like the
I'm
best.
talking
I
all
mean,
time.
like overall for the
Oh,
system
yeah.
life.
Yeah, you will get maybe
Just
like maybe
4
like
days
two,
early.
2 or 3 will be like Sony IPs in the top 10, but it's not like a lot of it's like Xbox. A lot of it's third party.
Yeah.
GTA 5, NBA, Call of Duty, that shit. Like,
And that was cool before, but in this climate for gaming,
what's worse now because they're releasing
having third
less.
parties in your box, if you still want that, it ain't working out for
The problem
the
is
other
the
guys.
cost of
It's working out for
games.
Nintendo.
The cost of games skyrocketed for them,
Too
and the
expensive.
sales went the opposite way. Like PS4 was
Well-
pretty decent sales from but still game wasn't selling.
Still not enough
20.
because Sean Layden was complaining then. He was talking about how the price of these games is not being
They
justified
got to
by
figure out
sales.
some way to just reduce the cost. Like, I wonder. I think we looked it
They
up.
can't.
I'm making these.
They can't. They
hyper-realistic
built their
games.
fan base up on.
No, I'm not saying
some
reduce the
over
quality. Like
shoulder.
Black Myth Wukong, we looked it up, was like fraction of the cost. Obviously, they're a Korean team.
The
that's
problem
like
is,
first.
Right.
but I get T's point. They've built
Those
themselves
guys
up
are
as
probably
like
working 23 hours a day. We don't know what's going on over there.
those people
We can't
didn't
do
get
that
paid.
over there.
Those people aren't even getting paid.
Right.
Oh, that was
properly.
Chinese.
Right.
That was a Chinese developer. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those dudes are not getting paid. Is my point.
Right. Not every studio can get down like that. So
But they don't need to like.
careful.
Sony has boxed himself in as like a graphical powerhouse, so everything they show off has to have some.
It can
crazy
still look
mocap.
visually stunning. I think a lot of the. I'm just gonna guess like all the voice acting and all the motion cap they do with,
But still,
and they always
that's the
hire like
problem.
the top, people, which I don't know how much like Troy
Voice
Baker
acting,
makes.
motion
But
cap.
Oh, Troy Baker probably
But
makes
just-
a certain amount.
Where
yeah.
your money's being spent.
as much as I find it kind of frustrating in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, like when it goes from dialogue and like at moments, and then it goes back to the gibberish. At the same time, that's better than having games cost $300 million.
Yeah, but I'm saying you can't retrain your fan base now. Now they expect this shit.
Exactly.
Going to show up.
They've
You
boxed
out
themselves in
something
the
like
corner.
a
and they
Nintendo
won't-
game. Look what happened to Astrobot. Astrobot would have sold 20 million on Switch.
Yeah, it would have.
What is
Oh.
sold 2?
It would have sold at least.
Like,
I would think
sold a lot. It said a lot.
it would have sold more. Let's put it this way: it would have
Yeah.
sold more, regardless.
It would have sold a lot more. Okay, 10. Let's say 10.
So what they
My-
need to
my-
do is they need to, instead of,
They don't want to invest in AA studios, and that it
they
bums
could,
me out.
hopefully
or double A
They had
Astrobot.
to do what Microsoft did.
But
They
that
had
is
to
a-
do Microsoft diversified. That's what they did. And and everybody got upset. All their fan base got pissed off. It became pony bots. they ran and everybody got upset. But they're looking, okay, this is short-term anger for a long-term game. And they're playing the long game. And they've set themselves up pretty well. And they went through all the anger. They pulled the Band-Aid off and said, hey, we're putting everything everywhere. And I've listened to these podcasts. I listened to these guys. They were angry and grumbling at first, but now they're like, hey, that's fine. Let the Sony dudes pay for our Game Pass. That's cool. Put the games over there. We'll get Game Pass for free.
I'm sure not.
Not free, but
I'm
we'll
sure
get
there's
a lot
still
of these
some
games
that
for-
aren't okay with that.
No. There's bunch that
Yeah.
aren't okay. But eventually, this is where the industry is going to go. So there's a reason Sony started putting games on PC. It wasn't because they're doing it for fun. They were doing it for funds.
They need
That's
the
what
money.
they did.
They need the money.
Right.
And those games sell.
And
man,
these
on-
guys are mad. They're stop putting games on PC. Oh, these games don't sell. Sony wouldn't do it if they didn't sell.
I'd be
They're
mad
selling.
too if my company was bleeding money.
Yeah, I mean, it
Well,
sucks just for
and-
the
and you
future.
gotta imagine.
They want them to go broke, I guess. They're trying to find ways to make money, and they don't want it.
They hate. They don't want to face the reality that the company they love and champion for years was bad at handling their games, money, and direction to the point that now they have to do pseudo multi-platform nonsense in order to maintain financials. Like that's just the reality of the situation.
Well, and remember
And
that
you go
like
there,
for
you-
something, their best selling PS4, or maybe it was the second best selling PS4 game was Spider-Man. You know, they spend hundreds of millions of dollars just to license it. Not
got
even
pennies
once
off of
go
the
through
game.
development.
That's
They
what
got
I'm
pennies
saying.
off of that.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That Disney license must have been crazy.
And it's literally just so they can have it exclusive and make it. You know what I mean? It's like, and it's like, bro,
Make Infamous as
it's-
good as Spider-Man.
because if you look to like a lot of everyday people believe that Sony owns Spider-Man, but they don't. You know what I mean? So it's like
No,
they
they
believe that. They believe that, but it's because Sony really tries to make it seem like it. So they'll spend literally hundreds of million, all those hundreds of $1,000,000. How many games could have been made with hundreds of millions of dollars instead of just getting
They
a
still
license?
have the
Agree.
movie license though, I believe. I don't think they've.
What happened?
How many games could have been made that ponies wouldn't have bought?
Yeah,
But that's what I'm saying.
but honestly, I mean, we don't know how much Astrobot costs,
Yeah, I don't think. I mean,
to
in the end of the day,
develop.
like Astrobot
but
is still
I'm gonna guess it
triple A
wasn't
title
that
because
expensive.
that's probably still costed more than Breath of the Wild. Like in terms
Well,
of what
yeah,
fans
but like,
you know,
it
I
probably
don't know.
costs
It,
less
it
than-
had a really small
I
staff.
I would
didn't
think
it?
it costs less than Last of Us, which is my point. Like,
oh,
just
for
don't.
sure, for sure, for sure.
I
That's
thought
my-
that
my-
that like
A lot less.
yeah, I think
Exactly,
wasn't
that's
that
my
like
point.
40 people or something made that? Like,
It is a lot less in terms of
My-
so
my
if
point is
that
that
made
it's-
money, it might make huge money, but that could be, you would hope, a lesson they could say, all right, well, let's.
Why do you think people got mad when they start killing off the Japanese studios, and we're just like, bruh.
I'm guessing it made money, but it didn't make enough. It don't make enough for Sony to.
But if you have,
You know, like,
if
I
you
don't-
could have 3-4 of those a year on top, like, I'm not saying they could, but I'm like,
Yeah,
it's still profit.
but the thing
like,
is, they could. They have a lot more
Yeah, they
studios than
could.
they think. There's
They
so
do,
many
but
studios that they have
The
that don't
question
make
is, are they
games.
are
They're
they
just
going to
support
invest?
studios.
Are they going to?
They can't sustain themselves with little games coming out. They're too big.
They've
that's
screwed
the thing.
themselves. They would have to put out like.
well, I'm not
and
saying
plus,
like, I'm
how
saying
long
like
would it
take a
for
couple,
those games to come out though.
take a chunk
you
of like
that's-
your Naughty
you gotta-
Dogs and
you
your
gotta
Santa
work it up.
Monicas and say, hey, take like 30 people, make a
They
smaller
can't
game.
do that because they need them to work on that stuff that they're working
Also,
on.
remember,
They
Sony
can't
started
pull
off with
people-
more IPs when they started and have dropped more and more as time has gone on. Like
every
at this point,
generation.
I think PS5 has. I think we've seen maybe like, maybe 10, if that, from them this gen.
PS2 was their peak, I think.
Yeah, PS2 was insane,
they-
but I don't think we've
Yeah.
only seen what Ratchet and Clank. If we count the Spider-Man games, Ratchet and Clank, Spider-Man, Horizon, Last of Us, Ratchet and Clank. Did we get what is not? It's not Forza. What is it? What is
Gran Turismo.
Sony's Gran Turismo? Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
What else?
Did you say God of War?
Oh yeah, God of War. That's 7. I guess Astrobot would count. And
Studios or
I missed
IPs.
it.
IPs. I think I'm at 8. I can't
I think
think
they're
of.
working on what for PS5.
Uncharted.
No,
There's-
PS5 we've seen on PS5.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so let's see, Ratchet,
Got it.
Astrobot,
Yeah,
Gran Turismo.
got
Can you count Returnal as a franchise yet?
No.
Not really, right?
It's
It's
a
only
single
one
is that
one game.
It's a new IP. It's theirs.
okay? So
Yeah.
we'll count it. We'll count it.
We going for franchises or just IP?
Let's
I
go
don't
for IP because we need. They need it.
It's IP, and that's it.
We need it.
God of War, Horizon.
Yeah.
I
If
said
you-
Astrobot, right?
Yeah, you did.
Well, I
Helldivers.
turn around.
Oh yeah, I guess Helldivers would count. Yeah, Helldivers.
Yeah, I believe they own that.
That's a reach, but yeah.
Well,
It's
listen,
their IP, so.
we're already in a bad position. We've only gotten to like 7 IPs.
I mean, the first game,
Uh,
I don't even remember the first
Um,
game, but that was on PS3, I think.
no one
See,
does.
like, the fact that we had to look, I see you Robert looking at the list because he's like, "What in the fuck?"
Yeah, I'm
else
looking
do
at.
we-
I don't know what else is.
What do we? I named. Oh no, what happened? Ratchet Clank, Spider-Man.
Concord.
No, don't do that.
Man,
We don't do that.
Well, hey,
we're not counting. We're
Sony
not counting
erased it,
something
so
that's
you might as
dead.
well too. They erased it, so you might as well erase that bit too, huh?
But I think Robert's
I
at
think
what
that's it.
8.
I think that's it. 'Cause I'm
So
not
you're
counting
on-
remasters, man. I'm not saying the last was remastered and Uncharted
So
remastered.
then, yeah, you only got like 8.
No, you
Eight,
can't
eight.
count that shit.
So you
I
only got
counted
like,
7, but
Oh.
Sackboy.
Oh, that's right. That did come out.
It's not really,
Did
but
it?
you know him as a character, Sackboy. I gotta include. So 8. I'll say 8.
Came
So
out
the
with
point
five.
we can't we didn't even hit
And
10.
four.
At
but, yeah.
launch.
The problem is we didn't hit 10. The problem is that it's less than 10 Sony IPs that have been on the
In
system.
5 years,
Yeah,
5 years this year,
yeah.
and we don't even know what's coming out.
Well, Ghost of
this year, right?
Yotai will be the next one, next game out.
Okay, that would
Yeah,
be the next.
so
one,
that would be
the
9.
Ghost series would be 9.
Yeah, we're almost there.
That's not that bad, especially for Sony.
But I think it's bad, but considering
not enough.
No.
it's bad considering where we were at.
It wouldn't be as
even a
bad if
generation
like
ago.
Oh yeah,
it wouldn't be bad if they had, you know, they're confident that there was going to be 2 or 3 games this year, 2 or 3 games next year, but would have no confidence.
We're like
yeah,
in the
but
dark
my
age.
issue is that like even from the PS4, it's a drop off, and you're just like at this point we already had Infamous, we already had.
they're looking at it financially. We're looking at it, you know, games I want. They're looking at it financially. Ratchet and Clank didn't do that great.
Well, yeah,
it might
remember
have
they
made
had
money, I don't know.
the Insomniac leak, and I don't believe they made
Eternal.
money off Ratchet.
No, I
didn't
don't
do
think they
that
did.
great
Ratchet Clank is like a
financially.
tech demo for them in a lot of ways.
Which is super.
And then you have Astrobot. You know, not a great financial success, but I'm sure it's in the green. And then you go to Spider-Man, which what did they make pennies on that shit?
Yeah, they made money, but they just didn't make a
lot.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the point I'm making. Is that's 4 IPs right there. It's not one of them's not theirs. That you know that they put out as theirs, but they didn't make a ton of money on that. That's 4 IPs.
I just think it's crazy considering we've lost IPs that we had a generation ago. Like we had Killzone.
Nintendo barely makes any money on freaking Metroid, and they keep making them bitches though. People got mad. Oh my god, that's
They made Famicom Detective Club, man.
Dread made money, did?
Yeah. What I'm saying is, compare Red to other Nintendo IPs, they don't come close to the sales. They barely.
Oh yeah, agreed.
Anything near what typical Nintendo IP makes as far as sales go, and
I
Nintendo keeps making them.
Unfortunately, and that's probably why Astrobot did, make money. Is, it's only 60 people that worked on it only, right? It's still it was 60 people, but in the end of the day, like we just saw today, Ubisoft laid off another 180 something employees.
Yeah.
And you know what though?
The
unfortunate thing though is you finish a Ubisoft game and watch the credits. You don't have to watch it. Just go on, watch an hour-long podcast, and the credits will still be rolling by the end.
Take a nap.
And you know what's funny is
credits are like movie credits.
I'm not even. No, it's literally 5 times. Like I'm not even joking. I actually I don't skip credits. I let this shit rock. And Ubisoft games are consistently like 35 to an hour long credits, and it just keeps going with people. And you're like, no wonder the lane.
Watch Dogs 2.
They're overstaffed, realistically.
No wonder what they're laying these people off. Why do they need these many people though? Realistically, you know what I mean? Like it sucks, but it's like in the end of the day, like like they have an overabundance of people, and that's probably what it is with Sony for a lot of things. I'm sure for
2020 was the new norm. It was going to stay that way.
Yeah,
and that's why they hired all these people. They had it on all these people because it was going to stay that way forever.
And then it's never. And then the only look, if Assassin's Creed Shadow does not do well,
that's gonna be terrible.
I think it will. I think it will.
I think it will too. But man, if it for some reason does it, I think Ubisoft is like gonna beg for a purchase.
I think they're in trouble regardless. I think
they're gonna. Yeah, but I think
they're doing well.
Especially doesn't do good. They're literally good.
But especially,
I think I talked about that last podcast that they only have like a couple IPs that make like a ridiculous amount of money. And Assassin's Creed did
there's
one
still
there.
games to service keep them going, like your
Rainbow Six.
Yeah, Rainbow
Six and the Division and that kind of shit. Keeps putting money in their coffers, thankfully.
You know what? They still support us though is For Honor. I didn't know that.
Do they?
Yeah, For Honor. Yeah.
Really?
Remember
that's
that?
Crazy.
Wasn't there a talk? We're hoping that would be like a Wii U game or Wii U or Switch game with motion controls. I remember people saying that
Maybe.
about that
I'm
game.
sure that sounds
I probably no one.
But
that was Red Knight.
No
Red Knight talking about that.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
But
it's a good game. Very strategic,
I will say something. Watching some previews of Assassin's Creed, something that bugs me in any game that does this is when you have sword combat, like samurai swords or whatever, and you have somebody like no armor, no sword themselves, no shield, and you're like, you have to like hit them like 10 times to like defeat them. Like, just like, come on, like, give them a shield or something. Like a sword swipe should just kill. That shit bugs me.
It's funny you say that. I saw it.
Is my sword dull? What's going on?
Yeah, just like
I saw a gameplay clip. I saw a gameplay clip of Assassin's Creed Shadows where someone shoots this guy in the
oh
head,
yeah, shoot.
and he just keeps going. He keeps going. I'm like, hey, yo, come on now. Why?
Yeah, you gotta.
That's a wrap.
You got like
Yeah.
muskets in the game. Yeah, he literally. I saw. It must have been the same short.
I was the
Literally
same
shoots
way.
him in the head, and it's like, come on, like. I
And
know
she
it's a
keeps going.
video game, but
Doesn't even
it's-
fall down.
I was gonna say that was more acceptable back in the day, but now the video games
Everything-
become so much realistic looking. You can
Mhm.
have a shot in the head and keep coming. You just can't
No
do that unless
helmet,
you're a
no
zombie or
nothing.
some
When
shit.
you're making a
Even
shooter,
a zombie goes down with a headshot. So
well, that's what I'm saying.
Even
When
do
you're
that.
making a shooter, I don't like it when you have a headshot and it's not a one shot kill. Like that annoys the hell out of me. And most games, you shoot someone in the head, is done. You know, it's
well,
a wrap.
fucking
Most people do
Uncharted 2.
I
You
know-
know, the bullet
I knew he was
sponges.
gonna bring up Uncharted.
Yeah, that's
Well,
right.
just-
That's right.
I
Just
knew
have
it.
them have armor on or something, or I
Yeah.
don't find a different way to make it more difficult than just having him take 10 bullets to before you kill him. Like,
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
just stupid.
Dude
But
is ever
All right, let's
angry with Uncharted.
we'll talk. We'll talk. I want to talk about what we're looking forward to in 2025, which will include, you know,
Oh yeah, that's the title.
Switch 2 stuff. But I feel like last week I didn't really just like get. We talked a lot, but obviously I had to get up because we started early. I had to feed my cats a couple times. I had to get up, so I missed some stuff. But I don't feel like I walked away knowing everybody's feelings on the Switch 2. Like, just in general, are you like, how you feel about it? Are you happy? I asked Terrell that, but a whole different discussion came from it. It's like, you guys, I don't think any of us were surprised, but how are you feeling? Like, at this state, without knowing the games and some, the internals, like, how are you feeling about it? Like,
That's the whole.
Yeah, I think it's just
Well,
it's indifference. It's
anything.
indifference.
I'm
I can't
excited
feel
for
anything
April,
about
man.
something that
That's all
I
I
don't
know.
know
I'm
about.
excited for April.
and I think it's kind of weird that they're scheduling all these hands-on previews for a Switch 2. Like, it just seems weird to me. Like, it's not a new thing anymore. I don't know why they're doing it, other than just to
People were doing
replicate.
more for the game demos than anything else. I'm gonna be real with you.
They're trying to replicate
I
that.
think
this is
we're
a no. Yeah, thank you, Robert. Exactly. Go ahead and finish.
They're just trying to replicate that they're literally matching what they were doing in 2017.
Yeah, because
That's what I said in the chat.
Those things too.
They're trying to recreate that perfect storm.
Exactly.
It doesn't make any
Perfect
sense.
Exactly.
I mean, people are
But they
excited
don't want
to
to
go.
take chances.
People be excited to check out some new games.
This bitch is what they're gonna do. They're gonna throw a call with this bitch. So it's gonna be straight up. This is what we did last time. Let's do exactly that, and hope we hit lightning in a bottle twice.
So you think the
Um,
the April 2nd thing's going to be a live stage show thing, or just like a?
No, I think that's
Pre-recorded
this isn't
direct.
Nintendo's
I don't
break.
think. So. Yeah, I think
I
it's gonna
wish
be
it
a
was.
nice edited. You know,
But I believe you'll have
Pre-
people
you know.
come on talk about their game, like specific
Yeah.
the creator, like the No More Heroes guy, and like
Yeah, you'll
like
have
you did.
third party developers there for sure.
it'll be a developer directish kind of thing.
Yeah.
For that part aspect of it, yeah.
And we talked a lot about the ergonomics, and I showed you
Okay.
guys how I hold the Switch too. I mean, it's
Still
just
gotta build it
the
up.
only like when I pick it up, my hands do it automatic. I don't even have to think about it. I hold my
Really?
phone the same way. When I hold my phone sideways, I do the exact same thing if I type.
What you mean your phone? Like that's
Dude.
you. So you can
I,
carry
don't, I
it
think it won't be.
I
as
can't-
good with the Switch.
You can't
2.
hold your phone like this. I hold it like this. Like
yeah, I guess so.
you know.
The more I think about it, the more I think the thumbsticks will line up better with my hands, because I have to do a weird.
Well,
That's
hopefully
what
there's
my
a
hand
little
cramp,
more
'cause I have
gap
to do a
between
weird thing.
the right stick and the B button. A little more
It's gonna be
space.
like a 0.1, but I think every little thing makes a difference when it's something like that. I'm sure.
It
So
won't
it's
matter.
like-
I'll still probably want some third party Joy-Cons.
Well,
At
it's
the
going to
end
be
of
a
the day,
little
I'm
like
still gonna-
that new connection could make it easier or harder for third parties to make. I don't know. We'll have to see. Like
I don't think it'll make a difference.
the one
mean,
thing I didn't
I
like
don't think
about
it's
those
that special.
the ones you have on your Switch, I had the same brand. But it was a slightly different color variation. It was white, but it's really the one I have were really light and cheap feeling, and like they had gyro, I believe, but the rumble was just a vibration. It was pretty terrible.
Yeah. Well, my thinking is that when I'm playing handheld mode, I'm not gonna care that much about that kind of stuff as much.
Yeah, because with the weight of the system, it feels right. But trying to do the split Joy-Cons, like, yeah, these things just feel a little light, and obviously cheap because they are. But you know, I didn't really try a whole lot after that. I'm not sure what other companies do slide-on Joy-Cons other than the split pad and that, which that company name changed twice, I think. It started out one company, then it was Nixies or whatever. So I don't know if people just, it's like a generic thing. The end product's the same, but different.
Multiple company names.
Different names, yeah.
Well, you know what, though, when you think about it, you know, next week is February already. You know, like it's February already. So that April is going to come way faster than we think, you know. April 2nd. At least it's not April 22nd.
And it's the shortest month of the year. So
February's short. And then, you know, March is the end of winter here in Michigan. So by the tail end of March, I'm going to be just enjoying life because the days are getting longer, the snow's melting, and it's going to be a good time. I'm happy about that. It sucks, though, because I think back to that
reveal.
We said this back in October. Oh, we got to wait till January. So we got to get through November and December, get through Christmas, and then boom, switch. And 10 years later, or 8 years later.
When you're a little kid, and then oof.
I'm not shitting you. I picked up Street Fighter 2 Turbo. I rode my bike to a local Myers because I was like, what, I don't know, 14. Mowed grass all summer to be able to afford. I want to say those 6 Super Nintendo third-party games were 50 or 60. I don't think they're 60, maybe 50. But anyway, I'm on a pedal bike, and there's a pretty large hill to get up before. Then it's a decent ways. It's a 5-mile bike ride. On the way there, I was all excited. Oh, I'm getting this game. Go there. Didn't know if they, you know, it's always a gamble. They might not have had it. They had it. I buy it. We start riding back, and there's like 15-mile-an-hour gust in our face the whole way. Like, it felt great on the way there. It was in our back. So I was like, we're never going to get home. Like, this is going to take forever. It's going to take an hour to get home. We're pedaling. We're exhausted. You know, that was like 30-something years ago now, but I still remember it like it was yesterday. But you always have those moments, like probably T and Robert at the airport last year. When it felt like,
oh, man.
You know, I was at an airport for like 4 hours, and it felt like forever in Denver. And it's like, all of a sudden, it's a distant memory, like Robert and your Japan trip. It's already been over a year.
It doesn't even comprehend that it's like, that was 2023. You're like, wait, and we're 2025?
Yeah,
I was so excited to go, and I went. I made videos. They're all uploaded, and it's gone. That's already been half a year. Like, what the fuck? That's just crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
so Switch 2 will be upon us.
Time is cruel.
By the time we're talking, and it's going to be Switch 3, boys.
Oh, Lord.
Switch 3.
So anyway, the Switch 2 in general, I know, again, there ain't much to say, but it's like I feel excitement about the like when we started talking about the potential for this being like, you know, a really good generation for Nintendo and third parties, and
even better one.
That's exciting to me, but the actual hardware itself is it's what I thought it should be and what I thought it was gonna be. So it's not, but it's never was gonna be exciting for me. You know, but I talked about my ergonomics. Is there something, the lack of ergonomics? Anything you guys were like, oh man, I wish they would have did something different or anything like that?
I guess it would just be the ergonomics. That's really it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wanted some more thickness.
Yeah, I think that's
until we know more about the UI and stuff, we might have more issues.
If that
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is the most boring part of the cycle. We're just kind of waiting for more information.
And unfortunately, it's a 2-month wait, you know, to learn more.
But there's daily big update videos on YouTube. I shared a couple screenshots. Some big game update for Switch 2 RPG.
Why did you subscribe, man? Why did you subscribe?
I needed to be
I can't
reminded.
laugh that hard. It hurts.
You need what? Trauma? You wanted trauma?
Sometimes you need to be
online?
reminded of why you fell out.
Why you
with
hate something? Oh.
It's true. I mean, I don't know if that's true for you, but it's true for me. Sometimes you're like you ate something a long time ago.
I don't
like,
need reminders.
You're like, man, that was bad. Why didn't I like that?
Why
And
did
then
I-
you try it, and
oh.
you're like, oh shit, yeah, it's gross. You know, like that's why I didn't like it.
No,
That's why I didn't like that restaurant that I went to 10 years ago. And,
Yeah, I don't need a reminder.
But
There's too much good shit.
Remind
in
me
life.
of a girl that I want to
Reminder.
so yeah, 2025 we got the Switch 2 coming. We expect some games. Mario Kart for sure. Metroid Prime Beyond.
Yeah,
Is it Metroid Prime
Yep.
4 Beyond or just Metroid Prime Beyond? I can't
it's
remember.
Metroid Prime 4
It's 4
Beyond.
Beyond.
Okay.
Metroid 4 Beyond.
Other than honestly,
That is the
I'm just thinking about that
Beyond.
stupid podcast or nothing. Thanks, Nintendo.
Validation. Sorry.
like I'm honestly not like all the other games that I know about. Yeah, Doom 3 or whatever. I'm sure
Yeah,
I'll
Doom.
play it. But I don't feel that same level of excitement that I did
I'm excited
for like Doom 2.
Dark Ages looks dope.
I mean, it looks good,
cool.
but
I'm not like I don't. There's only a few games in the world that make me go.
Yeah.
So goddamn.
but I'm like, yeah,
excited.
that's a game I'm gonna
Yeah.
play. But at the same time, it's like sequels for
That
I was
me in
really
really
general.
excited for Eternal, but I'm excited for this one.
I mean, like I said, I'm excited, but in the end of the day, like
What
it's probably
the
gonna
F?
be one of the best games of the year. But it just doesn't make
Was
me
this
go.
the
"What?"
Late Boys podcast?
I know it's gonna be great, but other
Yeah.
than that, like, I'm not really that Elden Ring's like whatever that multiplayer thing's gonna be. I don't know
Yeah,
if that's gonna be. It might be awesome, or I might not even be interested. I don't know.
I mean, hey, if we get game night sessions again, it might be a perfect game.
Well, isn't that exciting in itself?
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know.
For
I don't-
me, look, as someone who plays games from years ago now at this point, like every game is like a mystery to me at this point. I'd be writing titles down and I'd be forgetting what the hell they look like, and then I look it up, I'm like, oh, that's what it was. I can't wait to play this shit.
I used to do that with the indie directs and get all excited about these cool looking games, and then they come out and be like, oh yeah.
I was like, what?
Why
No,
yeah.
well, there's some, like I just played it and I saw T. I don't think you see on the chat that it's on your wish list. Is Cultic?
Cultic. Yeah,
Shit is
I saw you.
Shit is awesome. Absolutely loved it. So definitely, I know it's on your
Is,
wish list. You haven't picked it up yet.
Who's this motherfucker?
Yeah, is it FPS? What is? I can't
It's
remember.
FPS,
I'm sure his
it's
mic
retro
is muted.
spooky.
Whoever
It's like,
this
It's a
guy
boomer
is.
shooter. It's a boomer shooter, right?
Yeah, but
They
it's
call them
actually
boomer
more slow
shooters.
paced. It's a little bit more slow paced than that. So it's really cool.
Sandstorm.
Oh, it's slower.
yeah.
Sandstorm, can you hear
I
us?
just saw it and I thought, oh, that looks cool. And that's only.
Oh, he's
that's,
muted.
That's why I listened
He's
to it.
muted.
It's made by one guy. It's made by
Am I
one
muted?
guy.
Oh, hold on. Let me see if
It was one
Sandstorm.
game, so one.
Yo,
person
can you guys hear
games.
me?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was
Fuck.
getting excited about
Yeah.
Cultic.
Wait,
I-
He
wait a
just
minute, am
wanted
I
to talk
muted?
about Cultic, man. Dang.
Sorry, I just was.
Uh,
I just felt like no
I'm
one could hear
muted?
me. That's why I kept.
No, I hear both. I hear both you guys.
Oh, okay.
You got just a massive delay from your lips to your voice coming through. That's what.
That's
Let me see.
It is because right now I am running off of my cell phone for whatever reason. My Wi-Fi is not working again, so I'm gonna have to have a conversation with Spectrum.
Guys,
It's a little
I
bit-
want to put this in perspective. You ain't gotta be on every week, right? Y'all know that, right? Like I feel like at a certain point, we've turned this into a work. Juice is not like a slave driver in the back. Like get on the podcast. Get on the
We got 30
podcast.
minutes left. Here he comes. But he might have
And I
some.
got
He might be
questions.
excited for
Well,
some
what
games.
valuable insight do you have for us, Sandstone? We need to hear your words of wisdom,
Of 2025 games.
or just anything.
Oh, when it's-
Whoa.
What are you
The
looking forward
pressure's
to?
on. Now you have to perform in a live public audience.
My most anticipated
Hold on.
game. My
Pause.
most anticipated game comes out in
Never.
March. And that is Swift Fiction. That is a game that I know when I have my hands on it, I'm gonna be like, ooh. So I'm very
You'll be like,
excited.
ooh. When you
Yeah.
get the game, if you don't do an unboxing of that and go, ooh, I'm gonna be disappointed.
and ejaculate in his pantaloon.
Yeah, I was just thinking that scene from American Pie when you get Nadia.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I just remember the guy. Oh, not again, man. I
Yeah.
felt the same way.
Again? Oh.
He ruined it.
Yeah.
You get that first one out, you can last forever, and she'll think you're amazing. Yeah, that's what you got to do. He got the first one out. He could have been the best. When he messed around and did another one, you can't recover from that one, bro. You might have to go to the hospital. That's too much.
Been so long since I watched that movie. All right, sorry,
boy.
Sandstorm. You got your
Sorry, man.
your quality's a little
Yeah,
low,
you're
but give it your best.
Okay. Let me see. About the Switch reveal. It was
You want to? I
lackluster,
would get your
right?
talk on the Switch, and then we were kind of moved on to games for 2025. But
Oh,
if you want to talk about the
2025?
Switch,
Yeah.
like,
I mean, I could slide them all in there. The trailer was
Pause.
lackluster, but I feel like super pause.
I didn't catch it.
And
I'm sorry.
I think people are gonna get hype. Closer we get to April. I think it's gonna be getting to January all over again. One of those moments. I'm excited for Prime 4. We don't really know too many games actually this year, do we?
No, because they're saving it. They're saving it for April.
What about the
Yeah, that's
Xbox?
wild.
What about the Xbox Direct, man?
Oh, you talking about like in general?
all those games going to go
okay,
Switch too,
respect.
man? All those games
Respect.
end up on Switch.
Respect. Yeah,
Yeah, Ninja
that's a great
Gaiden.
game,
I
too.
love that game.
Ancient Gaiden.
I love
I used
Ninja.
to call it that when I was 10.
The fact that Platinum
Hey,
is
man.
working on that makes me excited. I'm excited for that.
I will be excited later. I'll wait until the game comes out.
because the Team Ninjas, they
Team Ninja did
they
a
have
good job.
I mean, they're not the most consistent, I will say,
They can be spotty. They can be
Yeah.
spotty.
but I like that Platinum is
Solid
helping
B
them.
tier,
I
B
think
tier.
together they can make something really good.
Yeah,
It's a marriage.
I think those.
Heaven.
Yeah,
Hell.
those two seem like they would work out pretty
Probably
well
like, yeah,
together.
man. Get excited, Platinum. Yeah.
If it was Platinum by themselves,
surprised
I
that
wouldn't be
Microsoft-
excited.
Microsoft is funding that game. I didn't like that.
Well,
that's
look at this.
surprising.
What does that
Yeah.
say on there? Only on Xbox.
That,
Yeah,
but
still-
that meant more back then than it does now.
They had to put a
Did they
black at
fund
the
it?
end of the
Yeah.
name to get. Maybe Ninja Gaiden, the first one never made it to PlayStation. I think it was
I
only
don't know
two.
if they, did they ever
This one
fund
didn't
that?
make it to PlayStation.
I don't think they funded
Second
that
one.
game, did they?
No, I
Sigma.
don't think they funded the original now.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
paid
This
something.
is a game that
It was only on Xbox. They
I
should.
mean, that's called
they-
money
Money
hatting. We don't
had
talk about that.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
published it.
Yeah, money
That
hatting.
was, yeah, that was early
Says-
moves. That was money moves.
Yeah, but
Microsoft right on the
screwed us
back.
for a couple generations.
no, Microsoft's always on there for all these things, but
Oh
this one
no,
says
he hit me with the money moves.
I just love that she says that.
It had online enabled. I wonder what.
It's
That's
the
me.
inflection, man. It's the inflection.
Yeah.
You know what else used to be?
Ninja
on
about-
Gaiden. That was a nice.
What about-
that was a-
No, wait, hold on, wait a minute. The fact that they put both of those games, both South of Midnight and Expedition 33 in
In
the same
April.
month is crazy.
Crazy.
It's crazy. to me.
that might be a little dangerous.
No, but to be fair, the
Sales
Expedition
wise.
33 isn't.
This is a third party, isn't it? Expedition.
Yeah, Expedition
I
isn't.
mean,
Microsoft
even-
at all.
Pass, though.
Expedition
Yeah,
looks.
yeah.
By the way,
They're not
Expedition-
gonna
They're
dictate the
funding
release
it, though.
date.
That's probably something I'm looking forward to is Expedition.
It looks really good.
Absolutely.
And they're funding it. I think they were funding it.
I think they're no.
Yeah,
no,
I think they're
funding.
funding it.
No,
I don't
Expedition
think so.
33 is completely different from Microsoft. Like they're just giving them money
Publisher
to
is
put it on Game
Kepler
Pass.
Interactive, according to
Yeah,
Well,
like
they gave
that.
him some money to put it on Game Pass. That's for damn sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Give me that bag.
Windows.
Let me get that bag. Real
It
quick.
doesn't say Steam
Middle
though.
loop,
Right.
middle loop.
But think about it. Was
Oh, never
Xbox
mind.
was Xbox doing my RPG? So I mean, they needed it on Game Pass anyway.
That looks like a. I
That's-
mean, that looks
that
like
actually
a
is true.
cool, like the
Final
combat,
Fantasy coming.
like
Yeah, the combat looks sweet.
visual style.
It does.
Whether like, hopefully it's fun to play. I will say
I'm not in
the,
love with the character design.
that character
but
looks
yeah.
like
Yeah,
the
you
new
know,
Lara
it's
Croft.
Man, you It's turn-based.
over
You ain't playing that shit.
everything.
I mean, just
Over
shut up,
everything,
man.
the
Don't bust me out like
story-
that, bro.
The story looks the best. The story
T came in
has
my neck.
me
How dare you?
compelled.
You know what's funny?
Oh, you don't like turn-based? I thought you liked turn-based.
No,
You know
no,
what
no.
this
I like the race. I ain't like the invocation.
You know what this game is
Oh, no,
inspired
I'm talking
by?
about
man?
Juice.
Oh, you talking about
This
juice?
is-
Oh,
You
yeah,
said it
that's
looked
true.
good. I'm like, you ain't playing that shit.
It looks like
This turns.
they looks like they made turn-based look more
There ain't
interesting.
enough cheeks in there.
For
There
sure.
ain't enough
But
more
you know
cheeks
what it's
in there.
inspired by? See, if you play this game, that means you should play Paper Mario because it's inspired by Paper Mario Combat, man. The pressing of the A, the
Yeah, very lightly. Very lightly.
Yeah, don't do
It
that.
is,
That's kind of
it's really-
crazy.
In order to defend, you
Mar-
you literally time your attacks, and you know what their
Yeah,
favorite.
that's your Paper Mario, and you're done. That's it.
Yeah,
That is-
the combat. That's what
You
it
tell your
is.
attacks, press the button when they hit you.
That's
And
literally
that's
what
Paper
their
Mario.
combat is.
That's also
what
Mario and
combat is.
Luigi, to be fair. That's also Mario and Luigi, too.
That's
I
Mario Luigi,
get
right?
what came first. Wasn't it Paper Mario?
Paper Mario
Luigi
came
before?
first. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But
Mario Luigi didn't start
they-
to the GBA. Fuck you, sir.
but also the
Super Mario
developers.
RPG dates all that. And that was before all of those.
The developers, their favorite games were Paper fucking Mario.
I like how
That's
that'd
what-
be the reason that Juice plays it because there's a
That's
Mario.
why
type
they made it
connection.
like that.
Paper Mario.
But that's what's funny is that
I'm, like I said,
did that.
I don't care. I'm not a big fan of the character designs, but that's like my only issue.
I like the character design.
I like the.
It's
like,
a weird mix
this
of
is
like
great.
it's a crazy
Love all
mix
this
of
shit.
like realistic humans and like just
And then
absolute
dreamlike
fantasy.
weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's.
it looks like they could be in Final
like
Fantasy
it.
15, like the
Oh, you
characters
mean if Final Fantasy 15 was a better game?
mixed
Gotcha.
with
Oh come on. See,
I
look,
don't
you're
know.
picking the card and you go, hey,
It
hey.
really
Paper
looks
Mario.
like the successor to Last Odyssey is what it looks like to me.
Well, guess what? Their
Oh, I can
favorite
see
game is
that.
Paper Mario because it was inspired by Paper
one of
Mario.
my biggest
You can't-
issues.
Stop running with the Paper Mario.
What is
Oh
all
my
this?
god.
This looks crazy. This is not cool. I don't
That
like
doesn't
This is
not
Looks nice.
absurd. It's
No, that's
absurd
cool.
is what it is.
No, but all that wasn't that all just like stacking. Like you're able to stack on like a bunch of shit.
This is.
Yeah,
this
but I
is-
don't. I
That's
think
too
that's-
much.
That's
no,
low
no,
key
no, you gotta
intimidating.
think about it. That means you could become.
Listen,
OP
I like
as well.
RPGs, and I'm.
You
saying
don't like
that's
this character
intimidating.
design?
Yeah, that's what I was
it's
thinking.
I
Oh,
swear that's
not
freaking.
No, I don't really.
I swear that
Come on now.
that's
Come on now.
I'm not a big
uh
fan of it.
that's
Yeah, come on
Batman.
now.
You look
They're
like
right
also
there.
rocking like the same outfit.
That's
I don't
Robert
like that.
Pattinson.
It reminds me. It reminds me
Robert
of what we were
Patterson?
looking at when we
Patterson?
first had
Pattinson.
Forspoken.
Pattinson's alright.
It
They
looks
read
like
it
Robert
really nice.
Pattinson's face.
That doesn't do anything.
I'm just saying. It looks
Oh,
like I had to
like,
wonder.
A little.
What was
A
that
little, a
traversal?
little.
Look at X.
I just think
called?
it's
Then you
That
parry.
bomb? No,
it's
that was
interesting.
that Song? No, that was Square.
They attack
What
you.
was
You
that
have
Square game?
you have to time
Which
the,
one are you
the
talking about?
yeah, it
the-
looks
the,
more
the one that-
engaging than just like the
That's
old school.
the one with the
that's the animations for you. That's
black female
animation.
lead.
Legends of Dragoon?
Oh, for
Oh.
Forspoken.
Forspoken. Yeah.
That's
Oh,
what I
okay.
just said. I just
Oh,
said
I
that.
was-
sorry, I couldn't hear
We
you.
don't listen. Listen,
You
listen,
were talking
listen.
off the man, so I couldn't hear you.
I don't think.
That look like
One of my
Forspoken.
biggest complaints, and
It does.
Terrell will know this from Pokemon, is when the battle, like there's the just the lame battle animations, the generic backgrounds and stuff. That's not the only reason I didn't like turn-based, but that was like one of the more annoying things I always thought.
You're
was-
more, yeah, you for you. It's.
Random battles.
and it's random battles
battles
and
can be
just
annoying.
like
I feel like people. Listen, if you're out in the wild,
if
and
I'm
enemies
like
attack you,
engaged during
that's
it,
life.
like having to dodge and time stuff, then
That's walking on the street, son.
Random
Yeah,
battles,
in-game.
not ones you can see.
So,
Random.
So question.
Also,
then,
so the models have
question.
to be on the overworld. Is that the issue?
Yeah,
Yeah, you don't like walking and then you don't see anything and all of a sudden, brrrr.
yeah, yeah.
So,
That always
unfortunately,
bugged me.
I grew up that way, so it's like I'm so.
And I don't know how
indulged in
this works, but
I just grew out of that shit. I got a little tired.
that's reminds me of like the Laura Croft, like the newer Laura Croft one of
Bro, they look good.
I just think I mean,
So then
it
my
looks
question
interesting. I don't know that it'd be
is,
fun to play for me, but
Jack had this.
That's
Jack
why
had
Robert's
this
trying to sell it with
suggestion-
Paper Mario. Come on now.
Jack had this suggestion the other day about turn-based games. Shout out to Jack, but he said one thing that like really throws him out is if like both your characters are just standing there, but they're not really doing anything. They're waiting for you to like actually move, or like it'll be a boss or a bad guy or whatever, and they just like stand there waiting for your like next move. How do y'all feel about like I think is it Terrell? Is it Final Fantasy?
Which one?
Maybe it's 15, where they still kind of like interact with each other like they're actually fighting, but you don't lose any health or anything like that. But it looks like an
Yeah, I
ongoing
think that's
fight until
15.
you
That's
select.
not 15. No, no.
That's not 15, or is that 16? It might be
15
16.
was full blown action.
No,
Essentially,
it's not.
you're literally just you're.
Well, I know where it's like, wait, is it still turn based? Sandstorm?
No, there's no turn based
Yeah,
in
yeah,
15.
yeah.
No, I'm asking what
So maybe
Sandstorm's
it's maybe
example
it's
is.
14. Yeah. Like it's still turn based,
14
but
online,
so
though.
maybe it's 14.
No, it's
Is
not
that-
14, and it's definitely not 13. Is that even Final Fantasy?
Probably not.
I want to say it was. Maybe
Where
it
they're
isn't.
where they're interacting with each other, but they're not like they're
They're
fighting
getting
the
hit.
enemy.
They're getting hit, but they're not getting damaged.
Yeah,
Nah, it's
yeah.
not Final-
It's more like an aesthetic thing of anything. It's not really like
yeah.
just
mm,
just
I
for
think
animation
that-
wise. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I think
can't
that
think of-
works
I-
well
I
for
can't-
engagement.
that
Fire
one's
Emblem,
fine.
maybe?
It get no Fire Emblem definitely not.
Maybe standing.
Fire Emblem Three Houses was the closest we got to that, and that was like where you had armies behind certain characters doing certain attacks.
Yeah.
Where
So,
the enemies behind you didn't matter. It all mattered what your main character was doing. The problem
Everyone was standing.
Right.
that is literally meant to be an aesthetic decision that is just meant to like satiate people who don't like turn based, which I get it. It's harmless. There's nothing wrong with it.
Mhm.
Whether or not they want to indulge in that, it's up to them because that does take away time just to be like, oh look guys, they're all fighting. There's no health going down. Shh, don't worry about that. They're fighting. You see,
Wait
join-
until his big attack.
join the battle. Like it's like, oh okay, I get it. I don't know. Unfortunately, I think with RPGs at this point, it's gonna turn into this whole every game has RPG elements, and that's the best you're gonna get
Mhm.
because people don't want to do the turn based. I'm just real like, and I love it, but I recognize a lot of people don't want to
hey,
do
man,
it.
one of the best turn-based RPGs you still got to play, Terrell, is Yakuza Like a Dragon, man. That shit's so good.
First off,
This-
let me work my way through the
comedy-
rest of the Yakuza series. man.
I know. Yeah, I know. You want to go in order, right?
Yeah, I finished Kiwami. What was it? I think it was December. So I'll be doing Yakuza Kiwami 2, which is the second game.
well,
'Cause
speaking
that has,
of,
like, turn-based, but it's a little bit more. I mean,
Yeah, I've seen footage. It looks good, and I think the next
and it's
couple
hilarious
games.
as shit. It's so funny. Just
Oh
to
yeah.
make.
Oh, Yakuza's funny as fuck no matter what, dog.
Oh yeah,
You be-
absolutely.
but
so I
speaking
I
of
look for it.
RPGs, I was gonna ask
What's
you
up?
guys, with Xenoblade Chronicles X coming out on March 20th, are any of you thinking that there could potentially be like the Switch 2 reveal happens a few weeks later? Like, do you think they're gonna
Yeah.
possibly sell like a Switch 2 version of that game and show it at that, or do you
I would rather not.
I don't think so.
I hope not either, because I think it'd go
I
crazy.
also think it would
People
undercut the sales.
Because I'm
Yeah,
trying to.
of that
Th-
game.
I think I'm gonna wait till after the April 2nd direct before I pick up Xenoblade Chronicles X. I don't know.
No, that's
The
fair.
only
Pro-
thing they'll
that's fair,
show
that's fair.
if they enhance
Respect.
like backwards
Well,
compatible
you
titles
know,
boosting.
I also want Microsoft to IP so bad, dog. That's what I
Yeah.
want.
Rush.
I want another Microsoft game.
I just
Yeah, I
think
feel
that
you.
if
And
you're gonna
X is
see
great.
a backwards, if you're gonna see Xenoblade X and stuff like it,
You
just
want
gotta
another
be
Monolith Soul
backwards
game?
compatible.
Yeah, man. Quality.
Yeah, so the question came up about that, if all the games would get some sort of enhancement if there was backwards compatibility, because it's not like it's something that's like right off.
Well,
the
it's
bat.
one thing for a game that's been out for years versus a game coming out like months before.
Yeah,
but-
if any game was gonna get it, it would be X, maybe 3. But I don't think
Right.
I don't think 2 was gonna get it, or even the remake for 1.
well, I don't think
Yeah.
they're gonna go back and do
We get
much.
some hit detection.
Oh
Yeah,
fuck you,
dude.
sir.
I think they might go back. I think you'll get Breath of the Wild, get some kind of potentially could get a patch to take advantage of the Switch to, some of their bigger games that had issues. I mean, they don't have to do anything to Smash because it's already locked 1080p 60 unless they can unlock
Perfect.
120
Unless they wanna
FPS
upscale
mode
it.
or something, but I don't see that.
Unless they want to upscale it or something.
So for me, like Xenoblade Chronicles X, like I want to see that there's a reason to play it on Switch too. Like and then I'll just be like, all right, I'll pick it up.
Don't we have
Does it
new
matter,
content
though?
for that though?
Does it matter? Buy that shit anyway. I
Hashtag
don't need no
love.
reason.
Hashtag I'm gonna buy that shit anyway.
Well, I'm not gonna. I don't. I'm not gonna start it on the Switch.
I thought they confirmed new content for X.
There's new
anyway.
content, but
Yeah,
like
there is.
if there's like
There
a decent enhancement on Switch 2, then I'm just gonna wait to play it on
All-
the Switch 2.
I wanted what was in
It
context.
just
When
doesn't
that
feel like Nintendo.
when
to me.
that
I don't
comes
know.
out, Juice is gonna fall in love with that game all over again. That's what's gonna happen.
Or he'll find some cracks and he may not enjoy it as much.
Knowing
You
how
think
Juice
they're gonna
is,
sell a separate version though, Juice?
We're out of the Wii U era, so the Wii U 10
Yeah,
Plus is.
And it's Nintendo's
man.
way. I
No.
mean, PlayStation does it. PlayStation did it. I don't
the
know.
only reason why he liked it because
I
he was
don't-
a
So you-
used Nintendo fan.
They're not gonna sell.
So you think they'll sell a?
They're not pulling an
Go ahead.
Xbox, and it's not going to be one box, one, because I doubt that the Switch 1 version is going to be on the cart and the Switch 2 version is going to either have to be downloaded. Like you're gonna, if there is cross-gen, you're gonna be two separate games, two separate.
Yeah, y'all talking about all these versions. I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, they did it for
just
Breath
don't
of the
feel
Wild.
Nintendo.
That's what I think
What?
they would do if they're going to do a cross-gen game. They're going to do what they did for Breath of the Wild and Twilight Princess. They're just going to have two separate versions, Switch 2 and Switch 1.
Like Metroid Prime 4 Beyond for
They
Switch
had
1.
they had to. It was a different format.
I know,
That's
but
literally the only reason.
the alternative
Well,
though,
no,
doesn't make
GameCube
sense
they
because
didn't have to for Twilight Princess. They technically didn't have to.
they have to, because you're not going to put a Switch 2 game in Switch 1 and have it just play as a Switch 1 game, unless you download the Switch 1 version.
Or it's of a different. It might be a little chip on the cart so it doesn't
So you
go
think
in.
there's gonna be the two
Eh.
versions?
If they're
Yeah,
cross-gen,
that's not
there
that
has to
strong
be
of a
two.
reason. That's not that strong of a reason, Robert, because the Wii, I mean, albeit it is a GameCube, the Wii had different controls. So
Yeah,
and you
but they
They
could have
would
easily
mirror
been like,
that.
"Hey, man, we ain't doing the Wii remote. And just you playing Twilight Princess with the game."
I'd be interesting to see, but I just don't think they're gonna put if they're. I guess if
Wii's a
the
different format.
if the architecture's so similar, maybe they don't have to. If there's some way they can have it both versions be on one cart, that hey, this is gonna work in your Switch
do it
1.
like they did with the Wii U. Hey, you want content? Download it. There you go. Here's the patch right here. Go into
Yeah,
the eShop, grab it real quick. Boom.
Like
There you
maybe
are.
that's the thing for Metroid
Xenoblade
Prime
Chronicles
4,
X.
but for Xenoblade Chronicles, I don't see that for X. I don't see them making a Switch 2 version. I think if anything,
Yeah, I don't think
if
so.
it does anything,
Yeah,
you
not
can
for a
download
port of a Wii U title.
I think for
Yeah.
Prime 4, I think we will see that. I think Prime 4,
So
you're like.
let's get
guaranteed.
everybody. Okay, let's just make this simple. If Prime 4's launch day cross-gen title, do you think there'll be a Switch 1 retail box and a Switch 2, or do you think they'll find some way to have it?
I
be
think
on-
so.
That's what I think.
Yes.
For
Yeah, I think
Yes.
so too.
There will be two
Yeah,
separate
yeah,
I
boxes.
Even
think
with
it'll be
the-
one box. I think it'll be just a Switch box, personally.
that's
So you
gonna
think it'll
be
be Switch
confusing.
1 box?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a Switch One box.
Then that means it's not cross gen then.
I bet it's gonna say Switch 1 and
Yeah.
2 on it, and Switch 2 enhanced. Move on.
Yeah, it just has Switch
I
enhanced as like a
hope
little
not.
as a little
Because then
tagline
your
at the
Switch
bottom.
2 version's
Where
not
do
on
I
the
put it
cart.
my shelf?
No,
One of the
listen,
versions
we
isn't on the
already
cart.
had enough confusion. We already have enough
No,
confusion.
just have it be a
if
Switch
Switch
box
2
and it has a Switch enhancement
Switch 2
tagline.
is the actual sequel, all right? Putting Switch Enhance on the back, it pushes the idea that this thing can run Switch games and all the Switch 2 games can run on the Switch. We have
No,
enough
it's-
confusion.
no,
Don't
it's
do
still
that.
being
Don't
now.
do Enhance
You're
for
just
the
being
Switch.
funny. Stop it. You're just being funny.
Also, my question is
This
this:
is serious. Hope.
you know what a better question is? Do you think the Switch boxes are gonna change much, considering you now have Switch 2?
It's gonna switch
Yes.
a little bit. It's gonna change a little bit.
I think
maybe
it'll
like
be
wider, a little
Because
bit.
white.
Do you think they're gonna keep the same
It's
like
gonna- it's gonna
hard
be a different
red?
color.
or you
No,
think-
it's not gonna be red. I don't.
I
It's
hope
gonna be a
not.
different
I
color.
hope not. I
But-
needed something
It would be,
different. I don't want to be
definitely.
like the Xbox drives me insane, man. They got like the same thing for 10 years, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
they do,
bro.
I think they need to go with black.
And now
I
the only
think
thing
they
they
need
changed
to
was
go with black.
instead of one, it
Black?
says just Xbox.
You think they should go with black Sandstorm?
Yeah,
Like
I'll
just
take it.
I think
Yeah.
well,
We've
I'm trying
never
to-
had, not since the original X, have we ever had like.
what's that? Could
really
be orange.
a
Could
black-
be that color of the Joy-Con. that
Oh,
orange.
don't let it be orange, please.
No, don't. Not the salmon. Not the salmon.
Or
Yeah,
blue.
we're not doing that.
Blue.
Well, the Wii U.
No,
had
we
it
had
blue.
Wii U. Wii U was blue.
Not the
Wii U
cover,
blue.
just the
Mm.
box.
But the Wii U, I think they would
This
keep
right
that
here.
blue color
The
scheme for the
plastic's
Wii U.
blue.
But if you
It's
do
like
if you
the
do
blue
blue and
box.
orange,
The box was blue itself.
yeah, the box is blue.
But everything around it was
But
white.
if you keep it that trans,
That's
that
just a
white.
GameCube. I just changed it. That's a GameCube cover.
If you keep it white and then you put you could even honestly
people
I would
didn't
be
notice
okay
it.
with I would be okay if you
GameCube
put
cover had its own
a
thing.
red chip, so just the very top
No,
is red and then
Why
the
you
rest is
pull
white.
out a player's choice?
Because he had it, man. He had it
You
on
gotta
hand.
Let me pull out this little platinum
different one. Pull out a different
platinum
Silver
hits.
is platinum.
I do
Pull out a
want to.
different GameCube game and then pull out a Wii U. They're very similar.
All my
the
GameCubes
little-
are in the front. All my GameCubes.
Oh man.
I do want to go
No,
back
this
to
is what
this
they should do.
idea
Look,
of this
look,
cross-gen
put
thing.
the Switch 2 and then white. So it's just the chip is Switch
No,
2.
Yeah.
black. Switch 2 and black.
No, whatever it is. Switch 2 and then the logo. Like
Oh.
they're
So
like
wait,
the
is the
name.
wait? My question is: the
Okay.
box still clear, or is it
I
like?
think the box is gonna be clear, to be honest with you. I think that.
So it'll be like the
Yeah,
Switch
yeah, yeah,
box, just with a
But I
black.
think they're
label.
gonna change dimensions a little
Yeah.
bit just to make it slightly.
Do you think?
different,
I hope it's smaller. Well,
smaller.
the
No.
what? This bro, Switch box is already kind of too big for what we get anyway.
Yeah,
They're
it
gonna
could be-
make them wider.
You see?
Wider? What do you
They
mean
were trying
wider?
to copy the
They're
GameCube
gonna
style
make
with the little.
Yeah, they did.
No,
They're
shut
gonna
up, dog.
No.
Oh,
I
just
see
mimic that.
It's exactly the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
I
That's
didn't.
why it
I didn't
failed.
even think about that.
Oh, you
they're
could
trying
do
to copy
that.
the
You could do that.
I do want to
See, I
say
like
though.
the Switch box arts because it's just the Switch square and then the full art.
I don't think it would be a cross-gen game if it's just enhanced for Switch 2.
That's what I'm
Unless
saying.
some, I mean, the
would be
PlayStation
backwards
4 and
compatible.
5 are very
I don't think
similar
it's. I don't think it's
architecture.
going to be a cross.
still have a completely separate-
Be...
You don't think there's gonna be cross-gen? Is what you're saying?
You think Metroid
Yeah, I don't
Prime-
think. You're talking about Metroid, right?
I'm just saying, if there's a cross-gen game,
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be cross. I think that's gonna be.
forget
Switch.
Metroid. Just in general, I
Oh.
want to know what you think they're gonna do if there's a cross-gen game. Are they gonna release two separate versions?
so frustrated.
Forget Metroid. It doesn't exist. Just pick a game that's cross-gen on
Any
the
game.
Switch from Nintendo. Make
Mario
up
Kart.
and say, how do you think they're going to handle it? I think they have to do two boxes because the PS5 and PS4 are
Yeah,
almost
I wouldn't do
are
two
same
boxes.
architecture, but there's still two completely separate
They do have different
codes.
boxes. For
I mean,
games.
it's you download a separate, completely separate.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to.
Yeah.
It has to be different. You can't just have it on a cart.
And
On
Yeah.
both.
for any cross-gen game, yeah, no, absolutely. I think that whole enhanced. We're not.
Then
looking
it's
at
just
the
a Switch
64
One
anymore,
enhanced
you know
game.
what
It's
I'm
not a cross gen
Yeah.
at that
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
we're not using no expansion card or anything.
And why you gonna
like
tell
that.
your
It's a
new
whole
customers
different
for Switch 2 to buy a Switch 1 box? I don't think that makes sense.
It's backwards and backwards. What do you
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah, but they don't. But
That's
but
not
at the end of the day, if
cross-gen
you're
then.
making a
Yeah,
brand
for
new-
us,
I don't think
Oh,
I'm
that
gonna.
makes
Let me
sense.
wait. Let me be clear. I don't think we're gonna have cross gen. Is what I'm saying. I guess
Okay.
let me go with
Is
that.
it a single game cross gen?
Look, which one? Name one.
Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
No.
I think that might be the
Pokemon
only
ZA?
one.
We should place. We should place.
I don't think.
Pokemon
I don't think
ZA,
they're
you
gonna be cross.
don't
I don't think- I
Pokemon
don't think-
ZA
no.
for sure.
No.
I actually.
Why do you guys feel that way? Have you not heard of the DS and the 3DS? Nintendo don't care.
Yeah.
They didn't care about the new console just because. They still put out one version of the goddamn game, and that's why everybody's so pissed off. It's like, oh, I want it. Like, what was it?
Yeah, but it's
Black.
different.
Yeah, but
It's
that's
different with
Pokemon
handhelds,
Black and
bro.
White. That
That's
came out.
different.
Black-
It's
Pokemon-
different with handhelds.
The
Everybody's
3DS
all
was
pissed
out. They
off.
were still releasing Pokemon games on the DS. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, but
No,
that's
no, I
different
mean-
with handhelds. Consoles, they've done it before.
Switch is a handheld. What you talking about?
Come on now.
Come on now. Come on
Like,
now.
where are the rules coming from? Nintendo has not done this before, so there's no rule for this. I'm just saying to you,
I don't
this
think-
doesn't feel very Nintendo-like for them to make all these different.
Well,
This
this
is
I'm
other
not saying they're going
companies
to
do all
do
that.
it a
I don't see
bunch, but
Nintendo
I was just
doing
saying
that.
if they did it with
don't
one
think
or
we're
two
gonna get any
games,
cross-gen.
how would they?
Also, I
don't
think
think so
that would
either.
help. I also think that helps Metroid anyway, because I think the bigger fan base is on Switch One anyway.
I
I'm
still think
assuming
it's gonna be
Prime.
one game.
4 would be a cross-gen, but I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't.
So what would you rather
I'll tell
have?
you
Would
that.
you rather have buy a game cartridge in a Switch box and then have to download the Switch 2 version and not even have that on the cartridge? I mean,
That doesn't really
That's
bother
what
me.
else do. Isn't that what everybody else is doing?
Yeah, that doesn't bother
no.
me.
I
Really?
don't want to be like
That's what
everyone
Xbox
else.
does.
You
My
mean
copy
everyone?
of Horizon Forbidden West and put it in the PS5, and
Isn't
like,
that
I
like
can't
one of
take
the?
a PS4 copy of it.
You
Yeah.
have to pay
You
$10
had
to
to
get the
pay
PS5
$10.
version.
Yeah. Okay, so you got to pay for the new version.
But again,
not-
or you could buy the
no,
PS5 box and
Sony, anyway, you got Sony. You got to do that.
you buy the
Yeah,
box.
not
You
everyone
buy
needs
the
the money.
PS5
Donate to
version.
the
You
cause.
have the PS5 version on the disc.
Donate to Sony.
That's one.
Right.
That's
Well,
the
yeah, because
difference.
if you have the
Oh, what the
PS4
fuck?
version of like Sackboy, you do have to download, essentially install you put in the PS4 disc and then you have to download the PS5 version. You have to kind of go ahead because it will start downloading the PS4 version, and then you have to say no, download the PS5 version.
Yeah, that's what I'm
So
just trying to see is would Nintendo try to avoid that situation where?
I don't know. I mean,
I'm just
think
gonna say
so.
that. I don't think we're gonna.
So
that
maybe
is
they
gonna
won't.
be
Maybe they won't do any cross-gen. It's just
I'm just saying I
complete
don't think
cut
we're
off.
gonna
and-
cross gen.
I think they definitely will do this.
With that being
I'm
said,
just saying,
with
I
that
won't
being
be
said-
surprised if they don't do it.
if they did do cross gen, hypothetically, when we're not even talking about the physical version of it, but the digital version, that means, and the eShops are the same. That means when you go into there, are you going to be excluded from the Switch stuff? Probably not. Which means you would have to make sure that you downloaded the Switch 2 version.
Yeah, that happened to people
when you
on
did
PS5. They accidentally
Yeah.
purchased the PS4 version of some of these games where it
Yeah.
wasn't free.
Now, do I
upgrade.
think they'll make you pay for the upgrade? I don't think so. That doesn't really sound like Nintendo, but
I don't sound Nintendo like either. So
I mean,
yeah.
Which
So,
reason?
so if
I think they're just gonna
buy
rely on
the
backwards
first one-
compatibility and just say, all right, Pokemon Legends EA is Switch game, and if you play it on Switch 2, it runs better. Like there's not.
That's literally. How
I don't
they're
think you're gonna be
treat it.
downloading like the Switch 2 version.
Here's a Switch 2 patch.
I just don't see that.
yeah.
It's just gonna run whatever it can do to run better. It's like
Here's a question. That
Now
someone
there may be a day one patch. There may be a day one patch for Switch 2 for those games, but I think outside of that there won't be anything else.
Okay, here's my question. That's
Nintendo putting out patches. Have you seen Pokemon?
Shut up, bro.
someone was just
Absolutely
playing it
not.
recently.
That's what we don't do.
My question is this though. Let's say we go with the argument that I think Juice was the one who was like the Switch 2 is gonna come out in like November or something, right? Do you think we get a normal Nintendo Direct for Switch 1 before the Switch 2 Direct?
That's what everybody's saying right now.
once the
February direct.
yeah, February direct.
I think once Switch 2
If we get a
comes
February
out,
Direct, then
They're not
whatever,
getting a
I think
Direct.
that's a wrap.
Have they forgotten the
I think
last
that's a
year
wrap.
where we didn't get a direct? And there, what was the last one? Was it like summer 2024? If that?
No.
I actually don't remember. to be
No, we
honest
got
with
one
you.
in
These
like
are
August or
arbitrary rules.
September.
Yeah, it was
No,
like
they didn't.
September, I thought.
No,
September
they
was
didn't.
the last.
September, I think. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have no memory of
Everybody
us.
was mad that Switch 2 is going to be announced after that. Switch 2 is going to be announced after
I thought
that.
it-
It's its own
I don't even
Mhm.
remember that one, but
Yeah, I don't really.
I wouldn't
yeah,
bet money that it. But I
There's
just don't remember.
one. There was a partner showcase in August.
Because they kept showing. They've been showing.
They
Like,
mixed it with
That was
it's
the
a
last one?
partner and a indie showcase. That's what it was.
yeah,
Oh, I
there
do
wasn't a
remember that.
full-fledged direct because they were showing like trailers of Princess Peach even last year. We're like, oh, we ain't getting a direct. They're showing Princess Peach trailer. They're showing.
Jesus Christ.
That's right. The last one was June.
Yeah, the
Oh,
last full
E3
direct was June.
specifically.
Yeah.
They started this
That's-
format and they don't seem to care about it anymore.
That's when
The
they.
fuck?
That's when they
Feel like we
showed
got
Metroid Prime.
Wii U.
Mhm.
So there's no way they're
Oh,
doing a
Metroid
direct
Prime
to
was
cover
literally-
these last few Switch games, especially with Pokemon's gonna do their own.
Mhm.
Which is probably
I
next
thought
month.
the
right? Isn't
Pokemon one is next month. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's the 27th.
What
it?
games?
You think
are
they're
they-
gonna show Legends EA
Oh,
there?
it's just Legends will probably show up
Yes.
there. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, do you think it's gonna
We're
look good?
Legends, the first Legend games look good, and I'm not
Yeah.
concerned about. I'm not
You-
concerned
you
about
think they'll-
Legends.
Do you think they'll say the word Switch 2 on there?
Probably.
No.
Nintendo's telling
No.
I don't think so
third
either.
parties that not to reveal
No.
their
Let
games.
me be more specific.
Yeah.
It depends if Legends is our only Pokemon game this year. If Legends is our only Pokemon game this year, then they won't say Switch 2. If Legends is not the only Pokemon console game we get this
Well,
year,
they had that
they're
leak.
Man, that would be crazy. That's like so close to
They
each
just
other. then,
yeah,
man,
but they
'cause-
did Scarlet and Violet like that.
Yeah.
Scarlet and Violet and
No, it was a
Legends-
year though. Remember, it was January then November.
Yeah,
This was-
but
at this
if you
point,
put-
this would be like
my rule is
June
this:
and
if you put
November.
listen, if you put out it by like April, I think that's enough of a gap to justify it.
I think that game's
That's
coming
crazy.
out by possibly before the Switch 2 comes out. I think Pokemon.
I think
It'll be
that could
out.
be the November title, man.
If it is, I mean,
I
it
thought it was.
can go
Yeah,
either
I
way.
think it's their November title.
It can go
I
either
think
way.
that's-
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it earlier. I was expecting.
I expected it was gonna be like this month or next month. Honestly, if you want to be real with you.
I
I thought it was gonna be
That's
this
just
month.
what
I
I
thought it
was
was
You
gonna be
know
this
why?
month.
Because I assumed that they were gonna do Generation 10 this year. Because they always
yeah.
wait about 3 years between generations. But if they want to give it another year, bet I'm all for it. Because God, I don't want to do it that Scarlet and Violet nonsense again. So
Well, I think I
Because are
thought
we
they were gonna
unanimous
repeat it.
on?
what?
Are we unanimous on Microsoft Mario Kart like coming out with the Switch?
Oh,
I
yeah.
said
Yes,
from
and
the
that-
beginning, man. Mario Kart.
It doesn't make
Metroid
sense to
Prime,
show it
day
and
one.
it come out like later.
It would completely
Well-
stupid if they didn't launch
Okay,
it.
so
It should
I'm,
be like day
I'm
one.
still in
Honestly.
belief. I'm still in belief that the Switch is coming sooner than it is later down the year. So,
So
if it
will
does
Mario
come out
Kart be
sooner,
across
then-
gen?
No.
You bitch! You're a villain. That's all on his face. You fucking. You villain.
But-
If they
You
launch
can
that
miss out on
But I feel like-
150 million consoles.
I
If
feel
they-
like
they
launch on
I feel
Switch
like
1,
ZA
Switch
would
2
be
is
the
dead.
holiday. I feel like
Transformers
ZA
like-
is a holiday title.
You're gonna miss out on the 150 million install base.
That's how you get the Switch 2 150 million.
Mario
That's how
Kart
you
would be the
build it.
game you can gamble
Yeah.
with. I think Mario Kart's the game you can gamble
You're
with.
not gambling with
It's
the
not
game. You're
gambling.
gambling
You're
with
not
the
gambling.
system.
I'm counting. It's gambling until it sells. Is the way I always look at it.
That
What-
game's gonna sell the whole generation. So
That's,
yeah, but that one's an
exactly
evergreen
about that.
title.
if you want the Switch 2 to come close to Switch 1, you can't make Mario Kart Cross. You have to make it only work on Switch 2.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with
I mean,
that.
the last one
Especially
crossed-
when you got Mario Kart 8.
Barely, but
Wow.
yeah. Sales wise, it didn't exist in
Hey,
people's
there's stuff
minds.
on you can't do on you can't do on Mario Kart. You can do on Deluxe. Battle mode, characters,
Exactly.
items.
But I
That's an
honestly
enhancement,
like.
bro.
I think if for some reason they say, you know what, let's also put this on Switch 1, Switch 2 is done. It's a wrap. I don't think that should sell it for
It's gonna
anything
start-
after the first couple years. That's it.
Yeah, you have to lock that behind Switch
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, that's a commitment, and Mario Kart would be the best game to do that with.
It's
Literally
Yeah.
like their most
Oh,
important
yeah.
title
New
to do
Mario
it.
Kart.
This is one of their most important
Easily.
titles in their history right now. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
It-
Mario Kart's-
a lot is
Make or
riding on
break.
this shit.
Who you go
It
pick?
is,
Make or
though.
break. Who you go pick? Mario Kart. We got Mario Kart. We
I have
gonna
a
go
quick
with Mario
question. Do y'all
Kart.
think
Yeah.
do we get you think we get a 3D Mario this year?
Yes, absolutely. That's
Yes.
November,
No.
October to November.
You
one or
said
the other.
no. You said
That
no.
fall
Sans
title.
I say
why you
within the
saying no,
first
man?
I think
year.
it-
I don't know about
The
this
full,
year.
brother.
Yeah, I think
If
it'll be
the Switch 2
in the
comes out
next
before
year.
June,
don't
then I
know.
think we're getting a Mario Kart. I mean, a mainline
What?
Mario this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's,
guess.
that's like an October, November kind
I
of
got-
title.
Remember 2017?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you know.
I think it's gonna be revealed in
I'm
the event too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like they tease Odyssey.
If-
Just like they tease
okay,
Odyssey.
put it this way: if it gets revealed at the April, then
yeah.
I could see it happening. But if it doesn't get revealed, then I don't think so.
It makes no
Well,
sense
yeah,
to not
yeah,
reveal.
yeah.
They could save it
know
for
why.
summer, but I don't know why they would at that point.
They didn't technically reveal Odyssey. I mean, they showed obviously a new
That's
Mario
true.
game in that trailer, but
Yeah,
it was
they
only
just-
a few months. It wasn't like it.
Yeah,
wasn't
Wait
like, oh
until
my God,
E3, then
there's no
they
rule.
had the full name reveal and stuff.
It all
they
hinges
had
on
it-
when.
They had it in
No, but they didn't call it Odyssey. I don't think they called it Odyssey.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
remember-
they did.
I remember the E3 trailer being like, "Oh, that's
You talking about the January event?
Yeah, the January event.
Yeah, that's when they.
But they didn't call it- did they call it
Happy
Odyssey?
Eyes.
Yeah, where he
Yeah,
does the
yeah.
run and you get the whole throw of the hat.
They
and
didn't
it
show. They
looks
didn't show
and
the
it says
capture
Odyssey.
ability though. They didn't show the capture ability.
That's
but
what
they
it
had,
was.
No.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they gave the name. Is that what you're saying? The name?
Yeah,
Yeah, I wasn't
and
sure
then
they
they
gave
said
the
there-
name.
it was coming out. I think they just holiday 2017 or something.
Yeah.
Do you think? Well, here's
And
my
then
thing.
it,
With the,
what,
with,
it was
with,
November?
What?
You don't need 2 years to promote a game like they used to do back in the day.
well,
because
also,
there's so many- They
also
realize it.
Mario.
There's so many outlets. People get news very quickly now.
It's
Mhm.
also
You don't have to
Mario,
wait
for
for
God's
somebody to
sakes.
read it in a gaming magazine.
Yeah.
So that's why they can wait 3 months before revealing
Yeah,
a game.
certain
before it comes out.
IPs and certain IPs just
certain
don't
IPs.
need. Like it's freaking
Yeah.
Mario, for God's sake. Hey, they got their movie next year.
Mario doesn't need an
I think
introduction
people
here.
know about the Mario.
That might be another reason why.
I
well.
don't think they didn't care much about the
Nintendo
first.
didn't care about last time.
Yeah, the first movie they
care
didn't
last
do
time.
anything.
They didn't launch a game.
We
with-
didn't get
alongside
Mario
it.
stuff until like late that year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We didn't get Wonder in like November, right?
Wonder.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
October, November. I
October or
thought.
something. Yeah,
this is a good ass trailer from one or
almost
Odyssey
November.
back in. It was obviously you guys
absolutely. That's when. That's
Yeah,
when we
'cause
were like,
the only
were right. It was
What is
yeah,
this?
it was the T
The last
Rex
game we had
capture
gotten
that
was
they
3D
revealed at
World.
E3.
Was mind blown.
Yeah.
Like what?
We were like, what is
They didn't think it was
"This
Mario
was
because it's
Mario?
City.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Dun,
Still
dun,
looks- I mean, it
dun, 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 dun.
Even looking
It
at
was
the
great.
hat? I mean, even
These
looking at the
electric were hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was. Yeah. Like at the end of the day, like it's that. Honestly, when you think about it, if a 3D Mario comes out this year, Nintendo's lineup second half is fantastic. Well, I don't even know if it's second half, but it'd be literally just Mario Kart, Metroid, Mario 3D,
Pokemon.
and Pokemon. Those four are bangers, all of them huge bangers. You know what I mean?
And that's
That's
implying we don't get like
banger.
that's implying we don't get like a new IP or anything.
And yeah, no, I mean that's still,
Bangers.
that's just that's
Yeah,
just count those. There's gonna be
whatever
more.
new-
New IPs.
Yeah.
That didn't even come into my brain yet. Like,
There's gonna be
of
more.
course, there's gonna
Yeah.
be something new that's
Yeah,
gonna surprise us and just turn into little kids and shit.
gonna be bangers, man.
It's new IPs, and I want sequels to some games that I like.
They
I need-
absolutely are doing
Oh, like
2017
giving
too.
you,
You know what I mean?
Do you think we're
they're
gonna know
giving
the?
you,
I don't think we're gonna.
what's the other platinum game? What's the other platinum game?
Astral Chain?
Astral Chain?
Astral Chain,
Yeah, and
That
then they
ain't
say
happening,
Astral
man.
Chain 2 coming.
you won't see
That
it again.
was
No,
a-
no, you can't say that because Astral Chain was a shadow drop too.
Yeah,
And
but I
it
don't think I don't
was,
think
I
it's gonna
don't
happen
think-
anytime soon.
I'm
I don't
just
think
saying
that's
I
gonna,
don't see
yeah,
that
that's,
game
I don't
coming
think that's
out.
gonna be first year. That's not gonna be first
Yeah,
year.
me neither. I don't think that'd
Nah.
be first year.
And if we're using the 2017 comparison, I would like an Arms 2. I don't know if I'm gonna get an
That'd be
Arms 2.
nice.
I don't think they're
I don't
doing
think we
Splatoon
should. You don't
4.
get-
I don't think
No,
we're
I
doing
don't
think
get
I think
Arms.
Splatoon 4 will come out 2026 probably.
Arms was made
No,
by
that
who?
will be 2026. I think that's
Terrell,
what's up.
you're
Oh.
gonna get Arms 2 legs.
What's
Arms
the
to
problem
leg.
with Arms 2 is who was it made by? Who was Arms made by?
When about the Mario Kart team?
The Mario Kart, right? So you can forget about Arms 2 coming. You can forget about it coming this year.
No,
Yeah, but you would think
maybe next year.
they've been done with Mario Kart for probably 5 years.
they've also been working on Mario Kart
Yeah.
9 or whatever we're calling this.
I really believe they were done with that game for like 7 years, and then they're like, all right, well, we could do a lot more now. Technically, look this how good this.
Yeah, I
shit's
don't
selling.
like the.
They keep adding and adding and adding over 7 years. This crazy shit, and we just don't know. We're gonna find out.
The stuff they added to Odyssey, I felt like trying to 100% that game. I was like, yeah, this is all the stuff they've added since the game's been done, and they've set the release date out a year or whatever. Whatever people were saying, like it just didn't feel like felt like the complete Odyssey experience ended like way sooner for me.
So what do
Well, I
you
mean, yeah,
think?
but like somehow like
what do you
Mario
think
Kart.
for
was there.
Mario
I think
Kart?
Mario Kart's been done for a while. Like I think how can you have a Odyssey like Mario Kart where it's like what is it, short tracks or something like that?
Yeah, I don't
So it's
know.
like,
What do you
I
I
don't know if
Honestly,
I-
to me, it would just be more added characters, which would why you have 24 players you could play as. So that means you could have 100 characters, some crazy number over the top. Holy shit!
I
look at
bet
this
they're
roster,
still
it
working
keeps
on
going.
polishing and stuff. I don't think it's been done. Maybe the core
Yeah, but
tracks.
I'm sure they've always been polishing. They've been polishing for 7 years, dude.
No.
it's been the most insane little thing that they've been working on.
What do you think the gimmick is for Mario Kart?
Well, one
Hopefully,
of
it's not just the extra racers, but hopefully, there's something.
one
else.
of it is.
Yeah,
One of
that's
it
what
is
I-
though. One of it is that. I mean, realistically, I don't even think that's a gimmick. I just think that's not really a gimmick. That's just
That's just a hey, here's an improvement.
It's like,
Here's
hey,
more.
look, hey, here, yeah. It's more like, hey, look, our system's more powerful. We could run 24 people now with all these
60
crazy shit.
frames.
What
no
about
problem.
instead of going under the water, they pull a Sonic Transformed and you're inflatable?
There's gonna be something, people.
Of course.
There's gonna be something.
At a certain point, I just kind of want to. It's very much just show me the trailer. That's what I want.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Just show me the trailer. That's it.
I mean, that
people are
all
gonna
seems
lose
nice
their minds and people are
dandy
gonna black
everything,
out.
But I am waiting for them to add more racers to F-Zero so we can go ahead and get that F-Zero game.
Oh my god.
We gonna have
You can't
Captain
put out
Falcon.
24. Put out 24 race Mario Kart and not give us F-Zero.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's bizarre. It's funny because I was
That's
hearing
wrong,
the other
man. It's just
the other
wrong.
podcast that Juice hated on Captain Falcon, how much he hates his how stupid he is.
Well, in that
They hating on
in
Captain
GX,
Falcon.
just his design with his thighs and stuff, I just
It was hilarious. Man.
What is the problem? What?
I hope he's in Mario Kart, man, so you could just
I
can
don't
race
hate
him.
Captain Falcon in
you
general.
buy.
I just hated the design in GX.
What do you
You
think?
get beat up by a bully like him in high school or something?
No, it's just to me, it's
With big
just it's just
Sometimes
a
he
That's some deep rooted trauma. We need
it's
to
not an
work
art
on that. That's
direct.
crazy.
It's not an art style or that I like or not art style, but like a
Well, you
character
thought he was like
design.
you said he was like the worst design Nintendo character.
He just looks, especially in GX.
Juice people forget
I don't
Juice
get it.
usually
I don't
be a lot
understand.
meaner with his opinions. He's kind of mellowed out.
He has these weird things about him.
He's mellow yellow
I just
now. He's chilling.
don't like.
I think it's
Racism.
hilarious though. It's hilarious. I want to hear that. It's just
I
cracking up.
want to put that song behind Juice. That's that shit I don't like.
Captain Falcon, man. I love how it's hilarious. You got these thick ass thighs. The shit is hilarious, yo.
Relax, Robert. Relax.
It's hilarious, yo.
We got someone have to come get you, dog.
He had
Big
multiple leg
floppy
days. That's okay.
glass.
You got a gat. Is that what you're gonna say, Robert?
Dude, in GX, that dude was thick, and you're like, what the fuck? Why is he so thick?
Pause.
Pause.
I felt like he turned around. I felt like he turned around in the cutscene. Right, went damn. I went.
Here's a Captain Falcon design I like.
We getting ready to race. You getting ready to race? He said, "Man, drop."
It's
down."
actually just zero. It looks like it's just Zero Suit. Now that
It
I
is. It's Zero
now that I
Suit
clicked
Samus.
on it bigger.
Yeah, I don't know how you got. I don't know why you thought.
This
That's
is
funny. That's funny.
Did you? I'm surprised you didn't bring up like an actual model. So I thought you were
I
gonna.
thought it was
do
gonna be a cosplay.
When it was small,
Yeah,
I thought
exactly,
somebody actually
exactly.
made a Captain Falcon. I didn't realize it was Zero Suit.
You have to double check these images before you show them to the public, man.
I'm just not a fan of his design.
I'm sure there's
I
some
mean,
good Captain Falcon cosplay.
That's the shit I don't like. Damn. Oh,
yeah.
What
He's in his blue Falcon, so it don't really matter.
exactly. So Robert can't see his cheeks.
I don't know, just for cutscenes.
That's not true, man. They could have. You
In a
saw
racing game.
how Bowser was hanging off and stuff. They could have his cheeks hanging out of the sides, bro. Just you
Wow!
guys-
Wow! What is? Wow!
What's happening?
What is going? What is going on right
over
now?
here?
Hey yo, what
What is
the
going
fuck?
on?
This man talking about Falcon cheeks. Good God! Lord have mercy. Lord.
Hey, man, with the extra power, they could have extra physics.
Yo, get out of here.
I'm
glad
looking
you're
at-
right about
Pause.
these things.
I'm looking at the
Super
GX
pause.
the GX designs. He's got these stupid spikes on his arms and this.
Oh,
shoulder
there's
pads.
the old school juice coming back out.
I just don't like it. I don't know why I have to
It's
say anything
time
other
for-
than it just.
It's time for the return to Dream
It's
Cube.
just
Let's
not
get it.
visually appealing design to me.
J Big said, "Get that off the screen."
Get off the screen.
Do it now.
Do it.
What
Oh,
else?
my head.
So if the Switch to, earliest I think is June. So I think
Yeah.
we're asking
I
a
think
lot to have like more than 4 like big bangers in the first 5 months before Christmas. Like,
I think it's June. I think
I
it's June.
think we get a release in June.
obviously, you have the
Like, we
launch
got
titles.
Yeah.
a couple of third-party games for one. That's another thing.
You could have
Mario
Mario Kart
Party
and,
June.
and Metroid at
Didn't
launch.
we just get a Mario Party recently?
Yeah.
I thought.
He just said
Mario
party.
Party
Oh, okay.
and Mario Kart and Metroid at launch. I truly believe that.
Wait, what was that, Juice?
And I think they'll sit on that. They'll sit on that until
Said
whatever comes next,
party.
whether that's Pokemon or whatever.
They ain't gonna just sit on it. They're gonna put a game out, you know,
Is that-
the month after something.
Because real talk, I think this time third party's not going to sit around and slouch this time.
Well, they
I
can't.
They
They
really
really
I
can't.
wholeheartedly believe that the Wii U had a big lineup. I definitely think this will probably be just as big, if not
It's
bigger.
gonna be huge, but they need to space that out too, though, because there's gonna be
Yeah.
Ubisoft's gonna want to drop like 20 games, and it's gonna be like, yeah, but one of them's gonna sell. Why are you
Yep.
gonna drop 20 of them?
Well, that's
Well,
Ubisoft. They
well,
will do it.
Everybody's trying to enter the Panama Canal at the same time and can't get in. Like,
It's a, it's a crapshoot. You gotta see what hits.
Whoa, what are you doing with that?
This is dice, man. This is dice.
Oh my
When-
So-
god!
I'm gonna
That's-
predict a Switch 2
If you
launch
do it that
title.
way, you got problems. You know what I'm saying?
what's your prediction?
You got serious
Switch 2
problems.
launch title. It's gonna be the
You
same
can
as
do
the
it like
PS5
this.
launch title. GTA 5.
Rolling dice.
coming-
baby.
Look at that, 360 edition, 2013.
Mm.
Nice.
Has an install disc and the play disc.
Yeah.
Does that mean
Why'd you buy that?
GTA 6 is coming out a month later?
No.
Are they gonna do us like? Is they gonna do us like?
Xbox
Oh,
One
I
with-
guess
or
it's
excuse
yeah.
like
me,
Mass Effect. or something.
Xbox One.
Yeah,
Them
they're gonna
movies,
do
that's
us
what
like
it
with
means.
Mass Effect.
Where
What?
You have like in Mass Effect where they have 3 and then they launch the trilogy right after. So they'll give the Switch 2 5 and then launch 6 the month after on everything else.
You know what else I've been hearing that's been coming back? Oh, we're gonna get that Zelda HD double
Yeah,
pack.
that's coming back too.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! Jesus!
Some
Oh
at some
my
point,
God.
That bullshit again.
it's never gonna be a double pack, but at some point, one of those games is coming, and somebody's like, "Oh, told you," but it ain't
Yep.
no double
See?
pack.
You know what?
It ain't no double
I heard
pack.
the double pack. I was dying, bro. I was dying.
Bro, people are literally. If you look at the requests that people do, I'm like, yo, people don't even want to play new games, man. They be like, "What's
This
your
is
most anticipated
bullshit.
game?" I can't wait for that double pack. What? That double pack?
You know what
I got
though?
it for Wii U.
I hate it.
I'm not
I
buying
hate
it again.
Not like it's the
Wait,
biggest.
What are you talking about?
Not like this genre is like super popular, but you know the Switch. I mean, it's got a decent amount of like old fighter, like you know, the Marvel vs. Capcoms, the Street Fighter 2s and stuff.
Mhm.
But like, I don't know. I could see them somebody trying to bring like, I don't know, Tekken 8 or Street Fighter 6,
Oh, yeah.
obviously.
Oh yeah.
Mortal
definitely.
Kombat. Maybe they'll
Or how about we
Well,
stop
Mortal Kombat's
playing
already on it,
games
so-
Yeah.
and bring out Soul Calibur 2 and give me my link?
No, you don't need that. You good.
See, even Samsung's talking about old games here. He wants old games.
I'd like to
So
see this
what's going on?
series come
mean-
back with a
I don't
Ryu.
want nothing
Yeah, no,
going
that
back,
was
man.
good
I
to
only
me.
want new games on Switch 2. We start off
Jay-
fresh.
No, I'm saying I'd like that
Wait a minute,
series
wait
to
a
come
minute,
back.
wait a minute, wait a minute. Wait a minute,
Whoa.
Robert. Why do you want new
Hey,
games?
you
gonna
in the
play-
back.
Robert, you ain't gonna be able to play them for another 6 years.
It's still new then. Regardless, it's still new game.
Hey, you in the back. Sit down.
Yo,
Shut
Jay
your
Big
ass
said he
up.
want that Wii U. He want that Wii U
When I
tech
get
demo.
there, I ain't gonna have to skip over a bunch of old games. Which is
That tech demo with Link coming out looking like a Furby.
Don't call him that. That's crazy.
The Wii
That's
U
I
one.
still think it
crazy.
looks pretty good, man.
He was, I don't know, he was kind of furry and fuzzy or something.
He had hair,
I
man.
love
His
Wii.
hair on his head. Leave him alone, bro.
On his face, he looked like he was kind of furry in the face. I don't know.
That's scruff,
But
man.
yeah,
That's peach
People,
fuzz.
people want that Wii U tech demo Zelda. You know, they want that more realistic.
Trash.
I ain't
Shut
mad.
your ass up and enjoy Breath of the Wild. I ain't that bullshit.
I ain't mad at that.
Well, I think
Yeah, what?
April you
Fighting
might,
that realistic Goman, that looked pretty cool. Looked pretty cool.
you might see a new Animal Crossing, but won't release this year. I think it would release maybe next year.
They ain't gonna see no Animal Crossing.
You don't think so? It's 5
In the
years. It'll be
first
5
year?
years. It'll be 5 years. So
Yeah,
maybe.
okay. When the last one came out before
was
New Leaf.
wild.
New
was
Leaf. Look
wild.
at me talking about New Leaf.
Yeah, New Leaf.
You sound like a dismissive father.
Well, before New
Oh,
Horizons.
goddamn, Animal Crossing.
2013. So I mean, that would
Okay.
still be
And Horizons came out when?
in 2020. 7 years.
Right.
This would be 5 years. I think that's
Why
a
you?
shit.
See, why you do that? You type.
I don't think we can hear about it in the first year of Switch, though. I don't think that's.
The reason I
It's
say it is
true.
because they
Why you
announced.
dash that man's hopes and dreams? Don't do that, man.
They announced. They
You
announced.
don't see no
Animal Crossing-
goddamn Animal Crossing.
You played Animal Crossing on Switch enough for 3 generations, for 4.
Oh,
But
what?
they announced Animal Crossing. Remember when Isabel got announced for Smash?
Yeah, but that was like,
That was like 2018.
yeah, 2018. Yeah.
So that was 2 years
Isabel
before.
got announced to be smashed. What?
You want to?
No. That was what Isabel.
Shut up, T. Shut up, bro. That was so stupid.
No, when Isabel got in Smash, not now when she got Smash.
He's such a villain. I can't believe.
That was like 2018.
I can't believe.
So-
it.
I gotta amuse myself, man.
In 2027.
FBI, open up! Eat it, dog.
I mean, there's gonna be some.
That's terrible.
There's gotta be. So I'm very curious to see what they're gonna announce.
Elden Ring seems pretty
don't
likely
know.
for launch
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
I think we want, big exciting games. Yes, Animal Crossing had a huge fan base, but I think
I
they're
thought
gonna save
Robert's
that
gonna bring
for
up Ring Fit 2. That's what I thought he was gonna
One
bring.
E.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be huge.
Ring Fit 2, baby. Let's get it.
oh man, Donnie Arts, why'd you bring that?
Ring Fit 2 would be
What do you-
awesome.
What do you mean?
Deviousness, deviance.
It's gonna get smashed in the... Hey, listen, if Doom is coming out, then there could be an Animal Crossing because they always.
Oh,
like
that's
to put-
true.
I got a question. Does she have feet?
What do you, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like they're just like little sticks.
Ain't
She
no
ain't got no feet. I'm saying in this art, does she have feet?
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Because that
We're
would
not
be
gonna do
very
this.
strange.
no, we're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do any of this.
Damn
Don't
it,
even
I
bring
just
that
thought
up,
of
buddy.
something to bring up too before we went down that.
Oh no.
On
Damn
the sexual.
This is
No,
really
as well,
like you
it was
bringing up
nothing to do with
something.
that stuff. Oh,
But
remember 2018 for me in the Switch?
Yeah, you
I don't think
know
that's
that-
gonna
the year
happen.
that broke you.
That's not
The
going to
year that
happen
broke
this
you?
time. I don't. I
You
expect.
You don't think so?
You were like, I hate this shit. That's
I
what you were
expect
like.
them to plan more for than just the first year and say, "Fuck it, we'll catch up. We need to make the first." I think they're planning.
Well-
The first 3 years are going to be solid. I think. I don't think we're going to have these.
Well,
gaps.
I think third party is going to help a big time this time around, where they were late to the party for Switch.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Mm-hmm. Air says Luigi Mansion 4. That's true.
They'll be able to
That is
cover
possible.
that year when Nintendo's re-upping. So
That would be sweet to see. I mean, yeah. I mean, next level games. What are they worked on Mario
they can release some
Strikers?
game. Oh,
So-
yeah, Strikers.
So that was 3 years ago, though. So, hey man,
Man, counting years like that matters.
it's development time. I'm just
Are you
saying,
asking
development-
questions? Ugh.
It's development time, so maybe you can
Yeah.
see something. Not saying it will release this year, but maybe you can see something.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
maybe next level they do some crazy visuals on Switch 1. So imagine they're gonna be like probably the best looking games on that console.
You would even say the visuals are next level.
Yeah, yeah.
God damn. What?
Oh man, I'm loopy.
Oh
all right? I'm
I
loopy.
hate it. I hate it here.
And yeah, I think
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
Shit. I'm so sick of this shit. Oh, I'm so done with it.
Is that from
I'm tired.
SpongeBob? What is that from?
That is SpongeBob. That's SpongeBob.
Sorry.
Okay, that's what I thought. Hilarious.
Will we
Also, I'm
see?
not
this-
gonna lie, Sandstorm. I thought you were frozen over there for a hot minute, dog. I'm gonna be real with you.
Terrell, do you think there's gonna be a new SpongeBob
No,
game?
it's all right. I'm not frozen. I'm actually listening to two people at the same time.
Oh, he is frozen.
I'm
Oh
letting
yeah.
you guys talk, all right? I'm letting you guys have your
Oh, he's.
No,
Remember
but
that
you're
used to
Frozen,
have.
And you're botting and you're frozen.
You remember that
For
used to
us.
happen all the time to people? Who did it used to happen to the most?
Yeah.
You was having to Robert a lot.
Was it?
Am I frozen? Am I frozen?
How'd you know it happens to you a lot? Too?
They used to happen all the time, and it cracked us up.
You've been in that same pose for like the last minute and a half, dog.
I think we got Astrobot on the line. Hold on.
Ooh.
That's how you do it.
That sounds like he's drunk.
It's either Astrobot or ET. I don't know which one.
Respectfully, I think you.
Wally, I
Yeah,
think.
we,
I,
No, it's
yeah,
not
I
yet.
think he's used up all his minutes. I think we're done. He's used his data plan up.
Yep.
Got no-
oh, he bought his data. He's done.
And I thought you had the eliminate plan since.
That's around that damn spectrum.
Where you
Oh,
at?
wait a minute. That's what I have.
Oh, there he
There
is.
we
He
go.
moved.
That's what I have
Oh.
too.
That happened.
I don't know
Wow,
what
that was
happened.
You jumped
Like I
to the right.
He's alive.
froze. I wasn't froze, and then I was froze.
And then you were like you were sounding like a robot.
You
Started
were
Oh, Air says Xbox will have a major presence at the Switch reveal. I don't know
They did
about
say
major.
yeah, they will.
they will have a decent presence.
Yeah.
It's pretty decent. I think Phil Spencer is very
We get
excited.
that Call of Duty
Switch
this
too.
year. Come on, man. Get that
Yeah,
first
Call
Call
of
of
Duty.
Very
Duty.
excited.
Yeah.
That Call of Duty's coming. Yeah.
Honestly, here's a spicy take that might not be spicy. That I think to really introduce the Nintendo audience to Call of Duty back again, it would piss Xbox fans off, but they should do it. If Phil Spencer was thinking, you know how they do the early betas, you know, and they should give like 3 days extra early to Switch 2 on if you order on Switch 2.
They'll go wild over that.
People would
What
go
Xbox
insane.
fans?
I think that would. I think some Xbox people would be pissed, but I think in general, even PlayStation people would be pissed. But just like Call of Duty players would be like, "Man, the Switch 2, blah, blah, blah," and then it surprises people. Wow, this runs really well on Switch 2. You know.
Yeah.
I
And we
think
should all be able to play with each fan base, and then watch the Nintendo guys get murked.
But I do think they should give them like a like
Murks.
48-hour extra heads up. Like, hey, to introduce you guys to the ecosystem of Call of Duty again. You know, it's been over a decade. You know, check this out. We got the new Call of Duty. They should, I think they're not going to, but they should announce the new Call of Duty at the Switch 2 that comes out this year.
Call of Duty on Nintendo Wi-Fi, boy. Yeah, shit.
Shut up, bro. I hate
I just think
the Wi-Fi connection, baby. The Nintendo Wi-Fi connection.
if they announce the Call of Duty,
With-
that would show like so much people that it would be like, whoa, you know, it would get the casual, even the casual people that play Call of Duty, would be like, whoa, the new Nintendo. Wait, Call
Oh,
of
don't
Duty.
say that, Donnie.
You know, I think that would be pretty big, man. I think that would be pretty big.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen, but it would
Not
be
gonna
big.
happen. But if I gotta talk to Phil Spencer real quick. I'd be like, yo.
Yeah,
I gotta
apparently,
do
he
that.
talks to anybody. He talks to if you
Exactly.
got 6,000 subscribers, so I'm gonna have to hit him up.
We gotta
Right.
talk to him. Be like, yo, man, I got a good idea.
I say
for you."
that's great. People make fun of it, like, well, that's good.
No, it's
He's not-
awesome.
Yeah.
I do love that.
Advertising.
It is very cool.
channels
Hi-Fi
and
Rush
shit,
and
that's
Sea of
cool.
Thieves.
Oh, however, well,
Sea of
I
Thieves
mean,
for
you'll
sure.
probably see-
technically, they don't have it. They don't have the rights to
Thieves
the
for
Hi-Fi
sure.
Rush anymore, right?
Yeah, they do.
That's their
Mhm.
game, though, right? Isn't it? Their
Well,
game?
no, because they lost. I thought they.
Unless they gave it to that,
I forget.
I would.
I
I mean,
thought
knowing
so.
them, they might have. They might.
They might have given it to him. I don't know. Maybe that's
But
maybe they did.
Yeah,
We'll see.
maybe.
If we see it, if we see a port, we'll know.
No, but I
I
think,
think the game's coming either way.
you're gonna see Doom. You're gonna see
Oh, yeah.
some
But
other
that's
stuff.
obvious. We've gotten every
Indie?
other Doom.
You're
Halo.
gonna see everything they showed off. This past direct.
I think you can see South of Midnight. I don't know about that one.
No, not yet. At
Oh.
least I don't think that would be
I
one.
don't know
that-
about yeah.
Expedition 33.
People talking
Yeah.
about
Robert, we're gonna
what
get
is
everything, man. Come on. Now. We're
Starfield.
getting everything.
Like,
Eventually.
We already got
Eventually.
Super Mario.
You got me from Mario. How dare you, sir?
Hey, it's been a while since that. That's been 5 years. Maybe they announced.
Why
more
would you
too.
want Starfield? I've just heard about how bad it is. So why would you even want that?
Wait, you just heard it? How bad it is?
Which one?
No, I've been hearing about it. It's an 80. I heard it was terrible. So
Oh, shut up!
why would you
shut
even want
up!
Starfield?
Shut up, D.
Why did I keep hearing these ponies, especially? Oh, Starfield's coming. Everything's something like. Why would you want Starfield? You've been ragging on it for like a year and a half now. Oof.
That is right.
I
I
don't
forgot about.
understand.
I've been,
I'm
you ever been
confused.
hearing about Starfield?
D, I'm about to
That
go.
was a
I might
Tony
get, I
fan.
had to go check. I need to go check out JTech TV and see if he's crashing out about all this.
Oh my god! Oh, why would you go there?
I'm sure, man.
The mental anguish you have to go
I want to
through
see. I want to
sit
see if he
through.
spun the Concord situation in a positive light. That's what I want to see.
Will we see?
I don't
Phil
watch
Smith?
his channel. I watch people who watch his channel, and he gets roasted on the Reddit.
It might be
Pretty
time
funny.
for me to go back and check. I might be overdue for an update.
It's like, I watch Jay Check, so you have to.
All right, well,
Thank you.
I think it's time to wrap this up. I just realized how late it was, so
Yes, 9:30.
well, we got plenty of Switch 2 conversations yet to come, but
Yeah.
We're like
April's-
another 2 months worth.
what day of the week is April 2nd? Like a Wednesday or something?
Wednesday.
Oh, that's
Yeah, it's gonna
oh,
suck to
that's-
wait like until the
Wednesday?
next Monday to do the podcast. We might do it like the next day or
That
Yeah,
sucks.
I might
Why
be-
we
I
go
might-
I mean, you can wait
Wednesday,
till
like
Monday.
Wednesday to reveal?
I don't think Juice
Well,
gonna wait
listen,
till. I don't think Juice.
listen. It'll be okay because they'll do an announcement of the announcement Monday, so we could talk about
Should
their
do that shit on
announcement.
Friday.
About them announcing that they're gonna do a
Announcement of announcement.
Can we not do this?
Yeah.
I took Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off, so I'll be free to
Oh, did you really?
Mm-hmm.
Nah,
Okay.
I can't because I got. Technically, my
For
spring
what?
break happens the week after, so I'm not
I'll
gonna
be
get
doing
any-
I'll be doing a live reaction of it, so you're more than welcome to jump on.
But I'm just saying,
What
I don't
time-
want to
you
wait
say what
till
time it was?
Monday to do. I want to try to hit while the
I don't
iron's
think they gave
hot
a time
for
period.
the
yet.
podcast.
I mean, I'll do the podcast on the day that it happens, so it'll
If it falls when it usually fall, I'll be able to do a live.
yeah.
I think it's gonna be a little different timing because they're trying to get it worldwide. I'm sure.
But anyway, we'll
I mean, what time was it
figure
last
it out.
time? What time was it on?
It's like
January?
7 p.m. I believe, something like that.
Oh, well then yeah, we got more than enough time.
So yeah, thanks
Or even
everybody
later,
for
actually.
tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Mm.
Peace. Terrell, the way you're laying